Oh, what the? What? Who left NSF running on this computer? Oh, jeez.
And here we go.
There's the W. Here's ignition.
Doubling up.
Did he just do a curble?
Back to the moon and beyond.
Put that in the big bag, Gino.
Back at home, we all have a lot of work to do, but from here, it sure looks like a perfect flow.
Propulsion continues to be normal.
We did have an observation.
Equalization.
343 unfolds to go.
It's orange.
Water towers can fly!
Bingo! Right in the center. Where's Jacqueline? There it is!
That was surreal.
That's not what we want to see.
No! Oh my God.
Yikes. You bet. Sure. We don't need any more of these.
Jeez, who was that guy? Welcome to the Flame Trench, everybody. This is our weekly news show where we go over all of the things that are happening in spaceflight that we find interesting and discuss it with you. And yeah, in case you're wondering, this is an extremely special episode because this is Flame Trench 100. Since we rebranded our NSF Live Sunday shows, moved them to Fridays, and came up with this crazy cast of characters that for some reason you like seeing us on Friday evenings or Saturday mornings if you're watching later. This is the 100th one, and boy is this one extremely special. We will have at least one special guest on today's show, and you already know who that is. We are talking about the Master of Disaster, the West Coast Best Coaster, the NSF Abandoner-in-Chief, and oh yeah, he's also doing awesome stuff over at Astroforge. Mr. Jack Beyer is back at NSF for a one-off special. How's it going, Jack?
I can't tell you how odd it is to be back on this show with y'all. You know I love you guys so much. So when the old Camar reached out and asked me to be on for the 100th episode, I couldn't say no. Plus, I mean, hey, at least one special guest. Certainly I'm not special, so we'll see what that ends up being. But hey, hi everybody. I've seen all of your lovely comments over the last 7 months, and I've missed you all as much as you apparently missed me for some reason. But yeah, just super good to pop in and sort of look back on what feels like 7 months, but also 7 decades. Is that just me?
No, it's not you, and not just the fact that you've got the grayer beard now, looking with the more professional over there with the button-down shirt, all fancy.
Yeah, I got that salt and pepper action.
I was hoping you would come back with the "on my hat," but speaking of wearing the hats here, we've got EJ. How's it going, EJ?
Hey, I don't have a button-down shirt, but I am here. Am I a special guest too?
You are a special guest. I think we have the OG Flame Trench crew.
Let's go, 100 episodes. That's pretty cool. This is pretty neat. I already like this. This is a good time.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I immediately think about like The Simpsons or any show where they hit 100 or 200 or 300 episodes. They always do like a clip show. This isn't going to be a clip show, right? Like we're
I mean,
we're going to be hanging out.
No, we're going to be hanging out, chatting. Obviously, we've got some big stories this week as well to talk about. One very big story in particular that we are going to definitely have to delve into in regards to Artemis 3. And we're going to go real deep dive into that. And of course, we have Kevin Michael Reed pushing the buttons, pulling the levers, and producing, along with Jay Keegan, kind of hanging out in the back channel here too. So we've got the original Flame Trench gang joining here. This is amazing. Oh, this is so cool. Yes, Yak is back. I love it.
We got the gang back together, yeah.
Yep.
Chat went nuts when you walked into frame in the chair. I was watching it, and it was just, oh my God, Jack. So
yeah, just like really, really quick. I don't know. I don't want to make this the Jack show because it's not. But like,
it kind of is.
It's really easy to get FOMO when you're not chasing rockets constantly, and you see all your friends chasing rockets and producing really amazing stuff. So it's very heartening, if that's even a word, to see the response in chat and just to see people periodically, pop into the podcast comments for Astroforge's podcast or hit me up on Twitter or whatever it is and be like, we miss you. Like, y'all, you're too sweet. It really means a lot. So yeah, just wanted to throw that out there.
And you're already canceled. You called it Twitter. It's X Jack. Come on.
I'm a failure. Oh, jeez.
X the everything app, sir.
SMH my IPO.
Oh, God. No, we're not discussing that. We're not going into that.
Oh, why not, man?
I saw it got up to 169.67 at some point today or something like that. Didn't it? I swear that happened. All right, anyways, let's move on.
You will get timed out if you type those numbers, so don't joke about it. Yes, the numbers like after 5 and before 8 consecutive will time you out. So don't do that. Anyway, so the last time that you were here, Jack, before you decided to leave us and go trying to mine asteroids with Astroforge, was the week before Jared Isaacman took over NASA. Talk about how things have changed, my guy. There is a lot that has happened since Jared took over. And I mean, geez, if he was here, he would tell you yourself, dude, you missed out. But alas, we have TJ here to help us out to go over with what we missed out on.
Yeah, I mean, I just like right off the bat, it feels, I mean, like I said, it feels like 7 months, but it also sort of feels like decades of time has passed. When I left NSF to come here at Astroforge, the only reason I did that, NSF is basically my dream job, is because Astroforge really feels like for the first time we have a chance at exploring the cosmos en masse. And, mining asteroids is part of that. And that really inspired me. But it's crazy how much the world has changed in the last 7 months. I mean, I certainly didn't think we would actually end up getting Jared as NASA admin. And even in my wildest dreams, I don't think I thought that he would, in the event that he did become admin, start just kicking butt and taking names to the extent that he did. I mean, surely, I think we all thought he would do a fantastic job. But the extent to which NASA and the whole team has been executing just like crazy. I mean, dude, Artemis 2, I was crying like a little baby. Like the Artemis 3 crew announcement that happened this week, I was crying like a little baby when Andre started thanking his mom and his dad. Like, where do you even start? Where do you even start? I mean, we're going to get a F-14 again, maybe, or something? Like, what? How do we exist in this most awesome of timelines all of a sudden? I love it. So suffice to say, I've been on the sidelines along with the rest of everybody for the last 7 months, watching along and cheering along and just like super stoked that we're finally getting a NASA admin that we deserve. And we're finally making progress towards getting humans to be a spacefaring society. It's just like, this is the best feeling. Can you name a better feeling? I can't.
I don't think YouTube would allow me to say it, but anyway. We're back, folks. It's spicy. The flame trench is spicy.
Hey, jokes.
But I mean, yeah, it's last time we were talking about him with you on was the disappointment when his nomination got pulled and how we thought it would have been great. And I was wondering who was going to take over. And then we had Sean Duffy as interim. And thankfully they brought Jared back. So at least we had that. And I mean, EJ, we got to go over Jack's opinions on some of the major stories since then. I know you've been compiling a list of topics. Don't worry, we'll get to the actual news. I promise. We'll talk Starship. We'll talk Artemis 3, but we have Jack here. Come on, we got to do a little, get some Jack spicy opinions here. See if we get the bell rung between any of our comments. The fight bell.
I just want to say everything you think about bagels is wrong, Sawyer. Sorry, EJ, go ahead.
Whoa, no, not EJ, go ahead. That's not true. Also, yes, I know, Fluffy. I was saying Mr. West Coast, Best Coast, not saying that I agree with that. I still think East Coast, Best Coast. Even though I will actually be
I'm pretty sure you said it in a sentence, so it counts. I'm pretty sure that's how that works.
You know what? I'm going out to the West Coast for a couple days later in the month. We'll see how great it really is. EJ, hi.
So Jack, dude, I know we're not like, it might not be like a garden variety flame trench over here, but also you've been so busy, like, and we've been busy, like, we haven't had time to catch up on things, dude. Artemis 2, thoughts? Like, what was your favorite part? I have to ask, and I know inquiring minds want to know.
Yeah, man, it's really like I feel almost like I've been ambushed by this question. How dare you? No, there were so many cool moments with Artemis 2 that I feel like whatever moment I say is going to unnecessarily skip over other parts that I think were equally awesome. But the naming of the suggested naming of the Carol crater really that one hit. You know, I'm Mr. like, oh, the human lifespan is woefully short, like predominantly preoccupied with our own mortality. Yeah, that one hit.
My favorite part was the toilet breaking.
the P-sickle 2.0.
Yes.
No, you're right, dude. It that was that and the Far Side Transit was, oh man, like I feel like if like, you know, if we ever, you know, have like astronaut, like the Artemis 2 crew on here, it'd just be like that SNL sketch where I'm like, hey, Reed, you remember when
that time
went on the far side of the moon? That was really cool.
Yeah,
that was really
classic.
Cool, man.
I also, just to throw in another like grab bag option too, like I am so happy they managed to take what's the approved term, smartphone devices like with them. Like holy cow, the imagery off of the smartphone devices or what the personal computing devices, whatever they were, really like allowed everybody, I think, to sort of get a visceral sense of what it would be like if you were on the Orion capsule. So that was particularly special to me, as well as like a, you know, camera video nerd, which is honestly in some ways blasphemy. Like I give our CEO Matt crap all the time for posting cell phone photos, but you know what? There's a time and a place. So I really do think it was a great time and great place because it brought everybody along for the ride in a completely unique and unprecedented way.
It's funny, you're the one who always says, you know, there's the saying, the best camera that you have is the one in your hand. Although they had Nikons with them that they could have used.
And did.
The Nikons took some pretty
I'm
good
going to use
pictures.
an iPhone. Come on, I thought you were going to give me credit for being a Nikon guy.
They had a nice Nikon mirrorless camera too, which, you know, it's not as good as a Canon mirrorless camera.
There
but
it is.
Still pretty cool.
Waiting for it.
Jeez.
I teed you up for that, man. I set you up. You whiffed.
Yeah. We're back, baby.
I mean, it wouldn't be us. It wouldn't be the original crew if that wasn't the case, right? Like, oh
it's
boy.
True. But man, yeah.
So,
also seeing the eclipse on the far side was pretty darn cool. I mean,
yeah,
super cool.
That was my favorite part. There's a photo from Artemis 2 of the moon eclipsing the sun, and you could see Mars, Venus, Jupiter, and a bunch of the planets, a bunch of constellations. That is my favorite picture from that mission by a long shot. It is righteous. Great picture.
Yeah, didn't they get moonrise and moonset, and they got the Earth eclipsing the sun, like just a deluge of amazing imagery. The one where you can see like the Starlinks around the orbit of, like, it's just like, how is this a real image? And you know, I feel like regular people, for lack of a better term, non-space fans, often ask questions like, well, didn't we already go to the moon? Like, why are we going back? And having modern imagery with like modern technology is a huge part of the reason, again, to me, I'm biased, camera nerd, why it's an important thing, because there are so many images or videos or what have you that were just not possible before. And now they're possible, and they can bring these events back down to Earth and inspire people in an entirely new way. And, you know, we shouldn't be limited to 1960s imagery of the moon or of Earthrise or of Earthset. Like, we should have 50 megapixel, super high dynamic range, like ultra vision of everything. Like, send one of them sphere cameras up there. Let's go, baby. Like, it's 2026. Sorry, I'm all hopped up on Red Bull and happy to be back.
No, I mean, that Earth shot, people don't realize, and we talked about this, I think, during it, just what high of an ISO they used to get that shot. Because everyone's like, oh my gosh, you know, Earth looks so dull compared to the moonrise shot or to the blue marble shot, and it's like, well, yeah, did you see the settings on it? That's why. This was taken essentially at night to get a daytime shot of it. But yeah, I mean, that's something that is definitely easier to do now than when you have limited rolls of film.
It's pretty crazy. Like, Sawyer, you could probably identify with this experience. For so long in my photography career, I was like, no, if I'm not going high ISO, I'm not going to go over ISO 6400. For those of you non-camera people out there, ISO is like how sensitive the sensor on the digital camera is. It's akin to how big the silver halide crystals were in film. So a higher ISO means you have much better low light capability, but you're increasing the gain and you're also going to increase the noise in the image. It's like increasing the signal to noise ratio. So for a long time in my career, I was like, I'm not going over 1600 or 6400 or, given whatever camera I had. Now with modern cameras, you can go to like, 51,000 or 100,000 ISO, which is just utterly bonkers. And yeah, it's going to be a noisy image, but in certain conditions, that's what you have to do to get the shot. And it enables such unique imagery. I'm so happy that this crew was apparently so well briefed that they were able to, just smash it. They clearly trained to shoot exactly what they were going to be shooting, exactly what they were going to be shooting with. And man, they knocked it out of the park.
Yeah, if you haven't seen it yet, this was video that they just posted today on the NASA Artemis account of while they were on the far side, and Ike taking it all in and talking with the commander and going over all the Eclipse stuff. And you hear them talking about, oh, I can see the wisps and this and that, and all the things that was in their training. I mean, look at that. Would you just look at that?
Would you just look at it? Would you just look at it?
We are so back right now.
We are so back right now, dude.
But yeah, this was during the eclipse that we were talking about right there. This was what they posted and them talking about it and all. It was so cool.
Oh my God.
Hey guys, you know what was cool?
Read.
As he's talking on the monitor in the back, you can see pictures of the moon. But
that is cool.
Now we have those pictures.
Yeah.
True. Very true.
I got all excited, and then I'm like, "Oh, look, pictures of the moon!" But we have them. Look,
dude.
But yeah, this looks like it was
really
shot
appreciate
on iPhone.
too. Like
we were talking about that.
Yeah, I appreciate that NASA is continuing to sort of parcel out new imagery. Like there was such a huge dump in the immediate time frame after Artemis 2 that in my head I was kind of like, oh wow, they're just dumping everything. But still, we're getting the occasional post where it's like, here's new imagery or previously unseen imagery from Artemis 2. It's like, yeah, baby, give me more. Give me all of it. Like, it's crazy how much they actually shot.
Speaking of those, do you want to try that name again in chat? Remember the one?
No, I think we don't have to. We don't have to do that.
For those who remember
they
the
ask a question
of it, you'll understand the connection between a photo dump and what that person's name was.
Oh, Sawyer.
Hey, this is a way to guarantee we don't get him back until the 200th, right? Scare him off now.
I was gonna say I'll allow it.
You would.
Oh man.
Sorry.
Of course he would. By the way, my
and to think, I came on your Twitch a couple times in the last 7 months, EJ, and you do me that dirty? Come on now.
Well, I mean, you did that City Skyline City pretty dirty. That was part of it, too.
You brought it up, not me. Oh, no.
I didn't mean to do it while you were taking a drink.
Yeah, thanks for that. I almost sprayed Red Bull all over my very nice work studio display. Thank you. Thank you for that.
You good? Oh, we are so back. We are so back. Oh,
Feels good.
Man. Let me get some support here because, Jack, oh my God, people are so happy you're back. And then we'll keep going with some of the other topics of discussion because there's a lot more I know that we want to hear your opinions on. Kerbal Guy with a $50 super chat saying, thanks for the great shows, y'all. Here's to 100 more episodes and hopefully more reckless speculation and spicy takes about the future of spaceflight. Also, you're the man, EJ. Stay cool, brother.
Thank you. Staying cool is probably not gonna happen. It is 85 degrees in here. That's 29 Celsius. It's not great, but I'll be all right. We'll manage. So stay cool. I'll try. We'll see.
Dang, EJ coming in with the puns there too. That's my
Stay
job.
rad. How about that?
Jack, you gotta help me. I've been hanging around with Sawyer too much.
Clearly, I mean, you're making puns.
I know.
How do you
and I
feel
don't
about
want to.
jalapeno everything cheddar bagels?
I'm sorry. I can't. I'm not ready. I'm not ready to make that leap, dude.
Yes.
Yeah. You've been hanging around Sawyer too much. Yeah, I didn't think there was such a thing, but clearly there
Can't
is.
do it.
Oh, goodness gracious. The Space Pope. With a $50 super chat. Good to see you back, Space Pope. It's been away for a little bit. Space Pope's coming back. Saying, what? Jack? My guy. Bless this trench. Praise be. Space be with you.
Thanks, Space Pope.
Also with you.
Yes. I don't think we have the sound effect for that anymore. John Valentine saying, I for one...
According to Jeb.
Saying, I for one welcome our PPE overlord, by the way, with your hair nets and face hair nets.
Oh yeah, I've got some additional ideas on where to take that bit, so stay tuned.
Ooh. Okay.
And to be clear, it is a bit. It's a bit, okay? Like, calm down, everybody in my Twitter replies. I'm just goofing around with PPE in the office.
Come on, you were just chomping at the bit to do that.
Okay, that's too far.
All right. Steve Calley saying, I smell bacon.
Yeah.
Oliver,
I have not
smell a pork product of some type.
I have not had bacon in a hot minute. Like, I know that's destructive to my persona, but no, like, turns out when you get health insurance and you go to a doctor and they're like, hey, your cholesterol is real high, you start eating a little bit less bacon.
Don't burn it next time.
Just think,
Yeah.
Hey, oh, dude. Oh,
Sorry.
why did I even come back?
I'm sorry.
That photo is still pinned in our back channel. Just saying. We still have it pinned, so it's easy access.
I'm just like, the Overton window of burning bacon has shifted so thoroughly, because D is the burner of bacon. Like, it is known. We did a bacon cooking stream, and D burned bacon. Like, live on air. I was cooking jalapeno. We don't have to. Let's talk about the news.
Well, let me keep hitting a few more thanks, and then we'll get your opinion on some of the other hot takes. Oliver Redmond saying, bless this Pope and bless this Jack. Kevin Harrington saying, yay, Jack, congrats on 100. And y'all are like valued parasocial friends we get to hang out with on Fridays. Felstar 86, great to see you again, Jack. Have they added a kilt to the Astroforge uniform? I hope they have good bacon there.
No, not yet. Although I hope nobody from Astroforge is watching this right now, because technically I'm in charge of merch, so that would probably be something I got asked to do. Anyways,
God.
moving on.
By the way, everybody at Astroforge, Jack needs a kill.
Yeah, he does. I don't know, make like an asteroid pattern or something on it. That'd be cool. Like asteroid and some
Okay, that would
minerals
actually be
mixed
kind of cool.
in. Yeah, that'd be awesome. Phil says, Jack, OMG, are you going to try to do a shuttle Sunday? Hope you're well. I mean...
Oh, wow. What episode are you guys on, Sawyer? Like, what mission?
We haven't gone much further since. There's been some other stuff that's kind of taken precedence over it, but we'll get back to it.
Yeah, a couple 1-2 things, like a Starship launch and a crewed launch around the moon and a everything else in the world.
Yeah, that's all. Nothing crazy.
Actually, while we're here, I was going to say, what do you think about Flight 12? But go.
Oh, let's do it.
Oh, I was just going to say, I would love to go on a Shuttle Sunday again in the future. The main reason I haven't been on any streams for the last 7 months is I'm super busy here, believe it or not. to the point where I'll come in very frequently on the weekends, and it's just I need to focus. So if there is a Sunday in the near future where I can make some time, yeah, sign me up. Let me know. You know where to find me, Kevin and Sawyer and Crispy. But yeah, in general, I think this was 100 episodes of the Flame Trench, so I carved some time out in order to make this happen. But I'm just so freaking busy, you guys. We've got a lot going on here. EJ, as to your question for flight.
Before we do, I want to point out DY Cinema in chat says, "Whoa, I'm not even on stream and you're calling me out? Not cool, Jack. I don't burn bacon. It was an experiment."
That is demonstrably not true. You have 4K 120 frame a second slow motion footage of you burning bacon because you were, checks notes, so entranced by your 4K 120 frame a second slow motion footage of the cooking bacon. Yes, we have receipts, D. In fact, I'm pretty sure those receipts live on your hard drive, which may be why you're so emboldened to talk back about it, because I don't have it on my hard drive. Otherwise, I would have receipts, and then it's game over.
Hey,
anyway,
Jack,
that's why I miss you.
I have a question.
What's up?
How do you feel about the new host of Starship Update?
Max, he's killing it.
Yeah? Yeah, he replaced you.
Yeah.
Yeah. He's doing a
You
good
replaced
job.
one bald bearded guy with another, that's all.
Yeah, pretty much.
I do enjoy seeing Max's beard continue to grow. It's quite astounding. He's got a mighty beard. Anybody that wants to challenge Max on bearditude, be careful. Be careful, man. I mean, we've all seen it. The thing's a beast.
I could beat him if I felt like it.
Yeah. What's the Simpsons line? Like Bart sees a guy doing crazy contortions, and he's like, "I could do that, but I don't want to."
I don't want to.
Yeah.
Get to it, beard time? No, I'm good.
I was trying to make a good segue, but since we were talking about Starbase update, I just have something.
Oh,
to play.
Starship.
You
Oh,
mean
look at you with your
Starship
producer
update.
brain.
Oh, no.
No.
Oh, no.
Allergies and stuff.
Oh, I'm in this.
Allergies.
Weird.
Oh, my sinus.
Ah, my hat!
Oh, my sinus.
Ah, my hat!
Sure about that?
My hat. My hat.
Thank you, Sawyer. Thank you, Sawyer.
Goes in the square hole.
Oh, my back!
Ah, my back. Ah, my back.
Stubby squirrel. The square hole.
Oh, my hat. Oh, my hat.
Oh, my back is getting freezing!
Allergies.
Get out of my head. Get out of my head.
Ah, my head. Ah, my head.
Are you sure about that? Allergies.
The square hole.
Allergies.
My sinus. EJ disliked that. Hey, chat,
Oh,
guess
man.
what? EJ disliked that too.
Hey, that one kind of slapped.
No, that was pretty good. It was pretty good. It was
Of
pretty
course,
that's
courtesy
right.
of
One thing-
Oh, that's
Spaceboat, who not
Spaceboat.
only supports us every show, but also sends us some of those.
One thing that I do, I've been paying attention to all the spaceflight stuff over the last 7 months. One thing that I do feel like I've missed out on is all of the NSF inside jokes and memery. Surely there's a whole bunch of random things that have been entrenched in the sort of the NSF culture or stream culture, like on my hat. But I don't know. You guys will have all new things, I imagine.
Where's
At least
Jacqueline?
that's what I think in
there
my head.
it is.
Yeah, where's Jack?
Yeah, that's a good one. That's a good one.
Yeah, it's in the new intro that finally got done once you left.
Dude, he's never coming back.
I know, that's why I can say it.
Oh,
Hey EJ, you know about the Gimli glider?
that sounds familiar.
I do, at least.
I think it's the thing where the pilot ejected from a fighter jet, and the fighter jet just kept flying until
Yep.
it ran out of gas and just landed in a farm field,
I
perfectly
don't think that was
intact
the
or
Gimli
whatever.
glider. That was different, but still.
Okay, well, whatever. I'm talking about the fighter jet thing. That's the NSF intro. I just ejected. I was like, see ya. and it just kept going. And Ryan took it and made the new one finally. So I'm glad.
Ryan did
the
it.
tradition
And
lives on.
Ryan did it, and he put himself in it.
Yes.
I mean, to be fair, when I did it, I put myself in it as well. Like it's kind of like the privilege of the intro editor is at a certain point you get to like sprinkle in whatever you want until the rest of the team is like, well, what about
Starship? Speaking of Starship, what about Starship? We had Flight 12 recently, Jack.
Yeah. So for this one, I was in London for a Boards of Canada listening party. If you have no idea what those words mean, look it up. So I was a little bit disconnected, honestly. Like literally, we had left the venue, and we're walking through the streets of London looking for a pub to go to like decompress from this insane auditory experience. And the friend I was with, her mom texted her and was like, "Oh my God, it launched!" And we were like, "Oh geez!" And I brought up the stream on my phone, and we're like walking around London. I'm like looking at the stream. I'm seeing the ship with the plasma around it. So I don't know. Like, if you guys want to give me a sort of a recap, I mean, my general understanding of Flight 12 is Pad 2 did good, booster flipped weird and had a bad time. Ship lost an engine on ascent, but landed on target still somehow and did a cute little pirouette when it landed, probably for like a tile check with all the buoys or something. Am I leaving anything out? Dodger dogs?
Super heavy flipped the wrong way, from what we understand. It looked like flipped the wrong way, and then that led to some propellant feed anomalies during the boost back. Pretty sure.
That one, I don't know if we want to unpack that or what, but that one, I was like, huh? How? It's a cylinder. How can flipping the wrong way mean that?
Yeah, I don't know. Dude.
Is it because the landing tank is on one specific side of it or something? I thought it was coaxial. Maybe that's a V2 thing. I don't know.
All right, they have the transfer tube, right? That's as big as a Falcon 9 first stage, right? Yeah. Right. So
let's go.
The LOX header
tank transfer tube.
So the transfer tube works as your landing tank for your methane, right? And then they staggered the LOX header tank to one side. It's on the, I think it's negative X axis of the booster. So if it flips the wrong way, the LOX feed tank is going to be unhappy. As I'm currently understanding it. Chat, if you want to chime in, it's not great.
I just remember, at least on the Scrub stream, they said transfer tube, and I tweeted it with an all caps tweet and was very pleased. Every time they say transfer tube, it's like, sweet, sweet dopamine. Thank you.
Yeah, I know. Sorry. Stop saying downcomer.
I mean, you can if the rocket has a downcomer. Say that.
Yeah.
Oh no, we're not getting this spicy already.
That's honestly, Jack, that's the nomenclature that I adopt. Whatever the company calls it is what I call it. It's a downcomer on an Atlas V. It's a downcomer on Vulcan. But if SpaceX calls it a transfer tube, technically it serves the same function, right? You call it a transfer tube, right?
It says Mr. Pad this and pad that.
Hey, they've called Dan in the cast called them this and that pad. Go watch it. He did.
Really?
He did. He absolutely did. Yep.
Dan Hewitt said that.
I think he said that pad. Yeah. He said it. He said it, dude.
Amazing.
Jeez.
You're ahead of the times, EJ. You're a trendsetter.
Or they were just watching EJ.
Given how Flight 12 went. No, we're not doing negative self-talk. We're over that. So how Flight 12 went, there's an FAA investigation, right? But it seems like it went pretty well still, despite Booster having a bad time.
And the ship losing an engine?
Flight 13 will be... Yeah, also, yeah. But it landed on target, so it's fine, right? Right?
I mean, but it was also not a nominal orbital suborbital insertion, because they had to burn a little longer and it changed things up, and that also got rid of the in-space relight that they were planning on doing too. So it changed things up a little bit. But I mean, come on, that payload deploy, man. Seeing from the Dodger Dog with the camera on it and the light popping out of Starship, cinema, absolute cinema.
Yeah, shout out to Joe Bernard for, I feel like, championing deployable cameras from rockets before basically anybody. Maybe I'm misremembering how history works, but I feel like Joe's been working on deployable cameras from his rockets for I don't know, years. And, in the last couple years, we've seen Blue Origin yeet a camera off of a New Shepard. We've seen, now Starship throw cameras out on Starlinks. It's certainly, not an idea that any one person owns, but credit where credit's due. Joey B, really, really solid pursuit of deployable cameras. More deployable cameras, more better. That's my official position as Jack Byer, the human being.
He said the thing.
You did say that.
I was like, what did I do?
Thing.
Oh, I said that's right. I did say the thing.
I mean, he didn't say the thing. He said a thing, but still.
Do we think Flight 13 will be soonish? I have no idea where the hardware's at. I've not been paying attention to Starbase personally. But I'm curious, given the fact that, SpaceX just went public and there's a lockup period for 90 days or whatever it is. So maybe there's a Starship launch before anybody can sell their stock. I don't know, really completely new territory that we're in with SpaceX being a public company.
I think they're definitely going to try to shoot in July. I'd say second week of July. I mean, it's booster 20 and ship 40.
Oh my God.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah,
I know. I wasn't
Where
even
does the time
down
go, dude?
there. I don't know, man. I just work here.
Stupid frickin' arrow of time makes fools of us all.
Right?
I'm mad.
Yeah, seriously.
Dude, if it's not, I would say first week of July, but I don't think they're going to launch, on the 4th of, week 4th of July, maybe, who knows?
Well,
if not, it's either going to be right before it or right after it.
Yeah, well, they can't on the 4th of July because of the whole beach closure thing. But
yes,
I mean, yeah, I think it's possible. We've been seeing them do cryo testing out at Massey's again. So we've got booster getting tested there. Hopefully we'll see another static fire of that once they finish testing it, get all the engines mounted and everything. We'll see if they end up doing another one, because they did this weird thing, Jack, where they put 10 scattered engines on for the first static fire attempt. And then
I saw that. It was like a snaggletooth.
The snaggletooth booster, yes.
Oh yeah.
It's that booster's seen some days. It's gotten some punches to the craw.
Seen some things, man, and some stuff.
Yeah.
But yeah.
You wouldn't even believe.
But yeah, I mean, we'll see if they kind of do that again. But they made it through the timeline relatively quickly of version 3 from when they did that static fire to get everything rolled out. So yeah, I think July is possible. I didn't even think about the whole 90-day thing of, hey, well, before people can sell in case something goes wrong. Which I should say, by the way, I do want to point out, I've seen things on X today of oh, look at this explosion that happened. First off, some of it is New Glenn. Some of it is old footage. One of them was a Julia photo from 2023 from, what was it? The one that's tipped over and burnt, and then there was a little bit of it that came back. I think that was the one you and I were on the "Oh no" stream.
I
don't remember what launch that was. Oh man.
But yeah, so you and I were on that, the one where the no came from. But yeah, I mean,
I think I was completely disassociated for that. Wait, what is that? Is that a big Mars and some other planets on a ship?
Is that on Doug?
Yeah, that looks to be Bob or Doug.
Well, Bob was out today catching the fairings for Starlink this morning.
That's right. So, would be Dougie Fresh right there.
This is live?
Yep. Everything you're seeing now is happening now.
This is live.
That's not true. That's actually demonstrably not true.
Oh, also,
it happened speed of light times distance or something ago.
Whoa, look at you, nerd.
Also,
Should
yeah,
you leave us?
apparently-
We come back bringing C into the conversation.
Always. See?
Oh no.
Well,
Yeah,
I mean,
see,
it
it's
is a
nothing
marine
new, dude. It's
asset.
nothing new.
It's a marine
You just didn't
asset. Of course
understand
the
it
thing's
before. Oh, Sawyer. Bro.
Also, remember the inflatable snowman on the transporter? Is this a new version
do.
of that? The inflatable Mars and other associated planets?
Wait, so is this coming into the Cape?
This is live from Fleet Cam, is my understanding here.
Oh, they're rolling.
Oh gosh, it's one of those planets is moving around. I'm getting anxious
I
now.
think it's Earth.
It's orbiting.
Whoa. Okay, I'm sorry.
Yeah, this is wild. But I mean, yeah, that's their goal, the whole interplanetary thing now. So, although Moon first.
I wonder where those are going to go. Like Hangar X, I assume.
What would they need them over at Hangar X or Roberts Road for, though? Also, where did they come from?
Gigabay.
Yeah,
I forgot Florida has its own Gigabay.
And where did it come from? Joe Cotton.
You mean Cotton Eye Joe?
Yeah. That's it. Yeah.
I'm so mad at both of you now. You know who I'm not mad at though? Shout out to Julia and Colleen for the Battle of the Bays. That every time I see one of those go live, it's a treat to sort of get to compare where the different bays are at. It's going to be so wild when there are 2 gigabays active, 3 launch sites. Is SpaceX really doing stuff in Louisiana, or is that just a rumor? I saw that come across my bow like a month ago. Like, what? How many launch sites are we going to have?
Dude, they purchased a site down in Louisiana in Vermilion Parish on Pecan Island that is like as big as the Merritt Island Wildlife Sanctuary. It's a lot. It's a lot. So it's pretty serious, man.
Wow.
Yeah.
Exciting times.
It is. It really is exciting. I mean, when you come into the Cape now, it is very visible on the skyline. In fact, if you're coming over the bridge by the port, you notice Gigabay before you notice the VAB now. It's kind of wild.
Oh.
Really?
Oh, I don't know how to feel
Yeah,
about
if you're
that.
on 528 heading towards the port, you go over those bridges there, you notice the Gigabay first, and then, oh yeah, the VAB is behind it. And so many people have gone now, oh, is that black building the VAB? It's like, no. That's space. They don't even put the X on it yet.
EJ, you know, like when you're eating like salted peanuts or whatever, and you get like the weird peanut that like tastes funky in the bag. Does that ever happen to you?
Yes.
That's what just happened to you. You were like, you had like an excited look on your face, like you were having delicious salted peanuts, and then you got the one weird peanut, and you're like, oh, I don't like that.
Oh no! Or like a burnt chip at the bottom of the bag. You're like,
the weird brown chip.
This is no. How did
salted
this get
peanuts
here?
is my first thought, of course.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Hey,
it's the Battle of the Bays. Nice.
Yeah.
Okay.
Let me go thanks to people here, and then while we have the Florida Starbase stuff up, I definitely want to talk about some of the things that we've seen recently, including something related to Julia's post here. Let me thank some people here real quickly first, and then we'll talk about Florida Starship and your thoughts on that too, because we have some new stuff this week. Let's see, Fluffy saying, Sawyer, did I hear you correctly call the coast the best coast? Woo, I'm going to celebrate with a bacon on a bagel. No, it was in reference in the sentence.
There's nothing wrong with bacon on a bagel. What's wrong with that?
Oh, no, nothing wrong with the bacon on a bagel. It was which coast is considered the best coast. That was the
Wyoming
concern.
coast, obviously.
Poor Adrian will never live that down. Adrian has a real job now and still won't live that down.
And I don't? Come on.
He's got a point.
No comment.
What do you want from me?
I plead the fifth.
What do you want from me?
Not good enough, Dad.
Spacecraft. You're getting to play with spacecraft all day. He's doing like boring stuff, like office stuff.
It is actually like a true privilege to get to just like put my camera wherever I want around flight hardware within reason. Within reason.
Yeah. Bybird with a $100 super chat saying, I'm beyond excited. Thank you for having Jack on for this special episode. loving NY Fave 3 plus KMR. Oh, my Fave 3 plus KMR at the controls. Tears of joy. Thank you. Copy Moonjoy. Copy Jackjoy.
We're not doing that.
Wait a second.
We're not doing that. That's not a thing.
It is now.
I'm not one of your
But also
favorites. It's the favorite 3 and then me.
No, I think you're part of the favorite arrangement. Clearly,
it's a package.
Well, she said my 3 fave plus KMR.
Yeah, I'm a +1.
No, but
3
you're not a
and
host.
a Canadian.
The clear implication is that the OG Flame Trench group is the 3 of us plus KMR. That's the clear implication. We're not doing negative self-talk, dude. We're not doing it. We're over it.
All right.
Wow.
Well, I'm not over that.
You've
There's still more
changed.
sport to go through here. Texas Big Red.
Kevin's like, you've changed. You've become positive. I can't do this. Can't do this.
It's like being stuck in Texas was mentally deleterious after several years or something.
Jeez, yeah, not at all. It's all right. It's not like we, have something else potentially coming up later in the show that we have to time out. Totally not. As I continue through support here, Texas Big Red, you know who you are, winky face, but I thought you said Starship couldn't do a TLI with Orion on it. Cough, cough, wink, wink, love y'all. We'll talk about that. I promise we will. Telstar says, Jack, you can't be stoked. That's the wrong company.
Got a point.
It's actually not. I swear I'm not trying to make this like a whole plug thing, but we are launching. Astroforge is launching on the first Nova rocket. So, I am stoked.
Ha!
Yeah, I learned.
Yonder Gaming. So, Jack, can they static fire in the rain?
Yeah, probably.
He did it. Chad, he did it. He did the
thing.
Oh, can I actually? I don't know how to handle this exactly, but if you haven't seen or read Project Hail Mary, you might want to not listen to the next 30 seconds or so of what I'm about to say. I'm going to give you a couple seconds to not listen to what I'm about to say, because there's going to be a small Project Hail Mary spoiler
do
right here.
a fancy hand signal to let people know that it's safe to unmute or something.
I'll give you a thumbs up when it's safe to unmute. Okay, here goes.
Amazing.
1, 2, 3, here goes. In the movie, there is a scene where there is a large explosion. In the scene where there's a large explosion, you don't see the explosion first, at least from memory, if memory serves. You see the orange light on the landscape and on characters' faces. That scene, it took me back to 36 exploding. Like, it was the same, like, the faithfulness to reality in that scene was remarkable to me. I don't know how the filmmakers nailed it so hard, but the fact that they showed the explosion in that way, I was like, oh man, that's kind of exactly how I experienced Ship 36. Anyways, just wanted to throw that out there. You're good now, no more spoilers.
That movie's all practical effects and compositing, man. That's why it looks good.
True masterpiece.
By the way, speaking of Blue and exploding things, we should talk about your thoughts on what happened here with Blue and
Man,
that.
I hate to sound like a broken record, but Blue will rebuild. Like, this obviously sucks. My heart goes out to everybody at that company who's just been, step by step, ferociously getting us closer and closer to having a true road to space. I'm just going to use all their catchphrases in one sentence. But no, like, seriously, it hurts my heart to see. And while I know that they're going to rebuild, and I have really appreciated the updates from Dave Limp and Jeff, and just knowing and getting so much information regarding the cleanup and rebuild, the thing that truly hurts isn't necessarily that this happened, isn't that they have to rebuild, it's the lost time. Like, I know, again, broken record over here, but you only get so many years on this Earth. And part of the reason I think Starship, for example, inspires us all so much is because it's a meaningful cadence increase in how much we're going to be able to do in terms of getting humanity out into the solar system and exploring our place in the universe. And so, yeah, man, like, they're going to rebuild. It'll be okay. I have 100% confidence that they're going to bounce back. I can't wait for 9x4. That configuration of New Glenn is going to be awesome. But yeah, it's just a lost time. Like, I wish things didn't take so frickin' long. Like, why does building stuff have to take so long? I know why demo has to take so long, because they have to sort of do like an accident investigation and clean things up very deliberately and preserve evidence. But like, man, long lead time items, they suck.
I was going to say, they did the demo pretty quickly on that.
Yep.
Yeah, you're both right. They did clean it up pretty quickly, and they did start cleaning up pretty quickly. And EJ, you're right. You know, the coolest stuff's the hardest to do, and the most worthwhile, I might add.
Yep.
And I mean, the biggest thing for me with this, and we've been talking about this, obviously I want your thoughts too, is the fact that, Blue Moon Mark 1 is getting ready to launch. Blue Moon Mark 2, kind of important for Artemis 3. I mean, this is probably a better question for someone like Jared Isaacman to ask, but I know you're not Jared, but I guess we'll ask it anyway.
Jared's close enough. That's fine.
In my dreams, my dude.
I know, this is more of a...
And you spiked the ball.
Yeah, I did negative self-talk. My bad. Sorry, what was the question?
Jeez. I hadn't gotten to ask it yet.
We're back.
Yeah. You miss doing the hosting, Jack? You want to take the hosting back? Probably not. No, that's what I thought.
I host a podcast for Astroforge, and that's plenty for me. Thank you. And also, subtle plug, not so subtle plug. If you haven't checked out Astroforge's podcast, it's so much insane technical detail. It's like crazy the stuff we talk about on there. So check it out. It would mean a lot to me, honestly, if you did.
Do you allow for special guests on there?
We're not ready to announce anything yet, but perhaps.
You said I was special at the beginning of the stream.
True. Oh,
that's true. We'll talk.
Really? Oh, jeez. All right. Yeah.
I mean,
okay.
Hey,
all right, cool.
Das got called out in a Hank Green video today for starting off as a Kerbal streamer and then starting a spaceflight streaming company without saying his name.
Oh, nice.
And then mentioning NASA Spaceflight by name.
That's cool. I love Hank Green. We love to see it.
Yeah. But again, we don't love to see the impact this has for Artemis. So I know you're not Jared, but if you were Jared, I would ask you, what do you think this means for the timeline for making the moon landing? What does this mean for Blue Origin's timeline? Do you think they can still hit having a vehicle up and ready for Artemis 3 supposedly mid next year?
Man, I don't feel qualified to answer that. Certainly, every piece of messaging we've seen from Blue, at least that's come across my bow, again, very busy, more disconnected these days than I used to be to the like constant info stream that's out there. But everything that I've seen seems like they're super confident that they're going to be able to get something together by either the end of the year or Burger's Law willing, Q1 of 2027. I cannot say enough that as a person who now has like significant emotion and like time invested in working on or with flight hardware, like, dude, I've shot so many satellites getting launched into space. Now we have a deep space probe that we're working on, and I have sincere emotions wrapped up with how that launch is going to go, and I feel like I have a much better window now into how everyone at Blue must be feeling in the aftermath of this, and my heart goes out to them, and I just hope a speedy recovery, and however long it takes, that's okay. However, like, just do it right, and I know they will. It's just like, man, I sure hope they're back and flying again soon. I mean, I don't know, EJ, what do you think, man? Do you think they're going to be able to pull something together by the end of the year?
No. Sorry. Sorry. We're on a huge positive note. I'm going to say no. I'm usually the optimist, but I'm not 100% sure how that's going to happen. I showed, like, I won't waste anybody's time. Like, I showed it on last week's Flame Trench. They showed pictures of Jeff walking around on the pad, and the concrete on the pad deck surface is spalled. It like Orion's heat shield, which means it got superheated and pieces were liberated because it was superheated and it heated all the gas up and the air bubbles in the concrete and it spalled. I'm not 100% sure how you're going to get this thing done in 6 months. But here's the thing, dude. I will say it's possible. You could do it. They would have to get build another breakover device like the one at the port, right, and go from there. I mean, I don't know. Like, maybe we'll hear from them in the future about what's going to happen, right? You could, but here's my thing. Here's my big one. Okay, you rush this pad getting back together, and you restore launch capability on essentially a cobbled together pad. No one's ever turned around an entire complex like that in 6 months. So
Yeah, how long did it take SpaceX to recover from what was it, Amos 6? Like, it was like 18 months or 16 months or something, right?
Yeah, for pad 40, exactly. What SpaceX just kind of washed their hands of it, and then they moved over to 39A and launched. So it was about a 4-month downtime, right? And then they returned to flight on 39A with CRS-10, and then Korea sat right after that. Like it. And that's when you have 2 pads. And that's kind of where I'm going with this, dude. It's interesting that you brought it up, right? So you rebuild 36A, right? And you rebuild it to be a cobbled together pad. So we're going to use this cobbled together pad to launch Blue Moon Mark II. Like, are we iterating on the pad here? What are we doing? Like, are you going to build another pad? I know they're clearing land for, I think 36B on the north side of like the entirety of Complex 36, right? But I'm fairly confident that might be for 9x4. So, they want to achieve this high flight rate. You're going to do it together with a cobbled pad. I guess I'm kind of wondering, why at this point in time would returning to flight be so ridiculously important? They got an extension on the project or Amazon Leo satellite, so they're not really under much schedule pressure anymore. Just rebuild the pad right, and then fly New Glenn a lot off of it, right? Like, I don't know. What do you think? Like, I just think that 6 months is. I think even if you did,
it seems like NASA really wants the ability to test both landers on Artemis 3. So
yep, absolutely.
So I guess to me that's where the schedule pressure would come from. You know what? If it takes a cobbled together pad and they can cobble together something and continue to build a second pad, and then once the second pad is good, rebuild the cobbled together thing. Like, look at what they did look at what SpaceX did in Starbase, right? Like, they built a minimum viable pad with pad 1 and launched off of it, basically had to repair the crap out of it multiple times and do significant refurbishment, if not repair the crap out of it in between launches. Meanwhile, they took the time they needed to build pad 2 and did it right, at least from what I've seen from Flight 12. Did it so right, and now that pad 2 is operational, they can tear down parts of pad 1 that aren't happy, and then rebuild that one right. And it makes sense in a lot of ways to, like, hey, you know what? It doesn't have to be perfect right off the bat. It just needs to get the job done. And while the job's getting done, we can make the perfect thing. It totally makes sense to me. And I don't think that's necessarily like Blue's standard operating procedure, at least not from what we see in public. That's like my opinion. I'm editorializing here, but it certainly seems like the right way to go in this case, and that sort of iterative, like rolling over your successes into bigger successes rather than just trying to shoot for the moon immediately makes a lot of sense to me. It's an unfortunate way to arrive at that destination, but whatever it takes to get the job done and to get boots back on the moon, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Go ahead, sorry.
That's what it comes down to. No, I was going to say, that's really what it comes down to, is we need to get the Artemis program going again. And Jared had the big push of, we're going to, get Artemis 3 next year with one or both landers, and announcing that they plan on using a Starship vehicle and a Blue Moon, basically Mark 1.5 vehicle. And then so that way they can do a lunar landing in 2028. They kind of need that. So it's going to be interesting to see what they do. What are you shaking your head at, EJ?
No, you're absolutely right. Nothing you're saying is wrong. But Sawyer, I guess my question back now would be, okay, Artemis 3, maybe mid 2027, late 2027. Okay, that's a year from now, right? And then obviously, let's just say, I mean, so when we were originally talking about this a couple weeks ago, I said 12 to 16 months. All right, so say it takes 12 months, right? 12 months, you rebuild the pad, you got the pad that you need, et cetera, you're good, right? That's fine. That conforms to the Artemis timelines just fine. And then you'll have a bunch of New Glenn GS1s and GS2s to send because your factory's cranking them out the whole time. Like, I don't really understand the need for expediency with this pad, especially when, maybe we could talk about this later, especially like, you don't, when Blue Moon Mark 1 could have potentially other alternatives, right? You can fit that in other rockets. So what's the rush? Do the pad right. Like, I mean, Jack, like what you were saying with pad 2, or take 36B and make it into the pad that you want, and then, have 36A that's cobbled together and 36B, that's the one that you want. And then eventually retool 36A to what you want, right? Like, I don't understand why 6 months is so important. Like, why at that point, you're kind of rushing it.
But my thought is because the fact that they have other customers too. NASA isn't their only customer. And I'm sure NASA is going to say, hey, don't put our Artemis lander, even if it's Mark 1, on your first return to flight mission. We want to see proof that you fix things and that things don't go kaboom. So if I'm Blue, I want to get those out of the way, get a couple LEO missions under your belt. So that way, when it does come to early to mid 2027, you can say, hey, now we feel comfortable launching. And look at this. It just happens to be right in time with the planned timeline of the Artemis 3 mission. I feel like that's the reasoning behind it, personally.
Presumably that's part of it. I think, just to say it, like, Blue also needs to get Kuiper launching on New Glenn. Like, they have a mega constellation of their own. They are well behind where Starlink is at in terms of deployed sats. And that's not even bringing the whole, like, space data center thing into the equation, which surely there's going to be, I expect, a story revolving around New Glenn with that as well. A reusable rocket is extremely useful for a variety of things, including launching ComSat mega constellations and other things. And I think Moon is certainly part of it, Sawyer. I don't think you're wrong there. I'm not trying to, like, disagree just for the sake of disagreeing, but I do think there's a lot of competing schedule pressures that perhaps we haven't even considered or don't even know about yet. I mean, I know, for example, Blue Ring is super cool, and I'm sure Blue wants to get that thing launched on New Glenn ASAP, as well as, any Moon hardware, as well as Kuiper, and, whatever else I'm not thinking of in this moment.
Yeah, I mean, I understand the schedule pressure. You guys don't, like, I'm actually not trying to just disagree for the sake of disagreeing here. Like, you said you don't disagree for the sake of disagree. That's my job, right? But I just, sorry.
We're so back.
Yeah, we are, dude. We are. Like, the deadlines are there. Sure, the schedule pressure is there, right? You cobble back together a pad and you do it quick, right? And then now New Glenn needs to launch a lot. Sure, I mean, Jack, you said it yourself. Pad 1 for Starbase was, so this pad, it was cobbled together. It was cobbled together because SpaceX was just trying to get Starship into space. That was their main goal for flight iteration through, pretty much first 12 flights. Just get it to space,
right.
See what it does, right? I mean, that pad turnaround time did have something to do with flight cadence. And, Blue is not iterating with New Glenn, not with 7x2 at least. That could come back to bite you down the road because you could end up having a backlog because the pad takes so dang long. What I'm saying is, take your time, build the pad that you want. Okay, say maybe it takes 8 months, maybe it takes 12 months, right? And then you can support that high flight cadence. There's no way around it. You're going to be waiting a little while before it launches again. Do what they did with Pad 2. I mean, what SpaceX did with that pad 2, and go from there. schedule pressure, yes, but this could come back to bite you if you cobble together a pad real quick with, concept of operations you thought about for like 5 minutes. I mean, they didn't think about it for 5 minutes, but I just want to see a lot of new Glens fly, and I don't think a cobbled together pad is gonna do it. I don't know, like maybe I'm weird. I mean, I am weird, but you don't need to tell me. I know already.
I mean, yeah, I get what you're saying. Like, there's some inherent risk in launching off of a minimum viable product pad. Like, I immediately think of serial number 8, the Starship static fire, where a piece of the test stand's foundation like fractured and severed an avionics hose. How do I still remember all this? I don't even remember what I had for breakfast today. But yeah, that could have been a very bad day for for Starship, and wouldn't want to see something like that with New Glenn. Totally understand that, EJ. I presume, I don't know crap, but I presume that Blue is already in the process of building the pad they want, their pad 2, and the fastest way to get to return to flight is not to wait for that to be done or to restart building pad 2 V2 on the remains of this destroyed pad, but instead to sort of build a minimum viable. It's like they're starting over. They're already in the process of building their equivalent of pad 2. So why not build a quick pad 1 version? Like, I'm weaving a knot of words, but hopefully you understand what I'm saying.
Yeah, no, I get it. 2-pad concept of operations is definitely a better idea here, but from what I understand, and guys, once again, feel free to fact check me, like chats, do it. I'm fairly confident that 36B is not for New Glenn 7x2, so they're not building new pads. They're just going to retool A for 7x2 and use 7x2 on a cobbled together pad. First of all, you want high flight rates. You're going to need more than one pad. Like, that's not like me being like pessimistic. Like, I don't see how New Glenn flies. And once again, I'd love to eat humble pie here. That would be fantastic. Prove me wrong. Do it. Want more rockets? That's fine. But, how is, like, say New Glenn moves to a flight cadence of like once a week. That's 52 launches. Are you going to do 52 launches with one pad?
I mean, I hear what you're saying.
And if they, I mean, actually, now that I'm thinking about it, dude, sorry, I kind of talked myself out of this, but 52 on one pad is probably doable. But if they wanted to go more than that, and I'm pretty sure they do, because they have a lot of stuff that they need to launch, right? You're going to get to the upper bottlenecks of something like that, of one pad throughput. I think there should be like 3 New Glenn 7x2 pads. I mean, I don't know, just my opinion. Well, you don't want 3 New Glenn 7x2 pads, Chad? Come on. Yeah,
I do. And I want one of them to be at Vandenberg.
No,
sorry, what?
No, not Vandenberg. No.
I East Coast. I get it. We love that, but I more pads, more better. I don't care where they are.
Yeah, fair enough.
Yep.
Also, we do love our second channel, Breaking Space, which is where this video is from, by the way, in case you didn't know. So you should go check out the Breaking Space channel if you haven't, with Ryan Caton, who is in chat, by the way.
Yeah, he's been disparaging me in chat. How dare he?
ABP. But yeah, it's still a thing. Always be plugging is very much still a thing. But yeah, I mean, I think the timeline is going to be very interesting to see how quick they can do it. And also, they shouldn't probably cobble it back together. They should probably use Fondag or some kind of strong concrete. But anyway. So.
I'm so mad at you right now.
What's the fourth box there for? Is that for maybe another guest coming later? Oh.
We have a fourth box.
No one in it yet. But maybe in about an hour from now, we might see our next special guest appear.
Okay. What are you guys trying to pull here?
Did you mean to do that?
I think he might have.
I just pushed the wrong button.
Totally not a reason to get people to try and stick around and see who's going to fill that fourth box a little later.
The best part is I'm pretty sure he actually did push the right button.
Yeah, I wouldn't know. But it worked. But yes, it's Burger's horse. That is who is going to be the fourth one. Let me thank some people here, and then we'll keep going. Warp Space 94, SpaceX being worth $2 trillion sounds crazy until you realize just how much they want to do. But honestly, be worth $20 trillion. Not unheard of. Random saying this trench isn't complete until EJ pulls out a book.
All right. Take me off the camera for a second.
All right, I'll keep going.
I was like, really? He's just gonna sit there? Like, this is his bit. This is his wheelhouse.
Austin Skirvin saying, Mr. Yank is back. We all know East Coast, Best Coast, also abandoner. Burn any bacon recently? Wow.
Jeez. They're really just fitting them all in. Yeah.
Bob McBoberson, so good to hear, Jack. Love Roid Rage, especially the episodes with Matt and Robin together roasting you. Nice.
I do get roasted a lot on Roid Rage, which is, as a reminder, Astroforge's podcast. Check it out. It's on YouTube. It's on Spotify. It's on Apple Podcasts. Anywhere you want to be, it's there. There, we got EJ with a book.
I figure it's a special flame trench, so I'm bringing out a special book.
That is special.
Ooh. SSME Flight Operator's Handbook for Endeavor, my girl.
Yeah.
I think you just nerd sniped Sawyer.
Oh yeah, no, this
my
was entirely intentional.
Dang. Oh no, he's looking at the picture. Not the centerfold. Not the centerfold manifold.
The sad part is you're blocking your light, so it was kind of hard to see your expression, but we all know what it was. It's the wolf, from Tex Avery cartoons where like the eyes pop out of the head and it's like a woo. You got like steam coming out of your ears. Yeah.
Yeah.
Your back leg starts bouncing up and down nonstop for some reason.
Yeah.
By the way, Jack, you mentioned the podcast. You're not the only one that can be plugging the whole time. You know what? Try this. Hey, folks, did you know we have our Hawaiian shirts at shop.nasaspaceflight.com, including some new designs? We even have these new Starship ones that came out, in addition to your favorites with Falcon 9 as well, and the capsule. But take a look at these new ones here in different colors with that re-entry, and then the profile for the rotation with the end. And the mount. The mount is there. It's the new mount, which goes over what, Jack?
The flame trench. Hey! Ding, ding, ding,
ding, ding, ding. Anyway, you should totally go check these out. They're super lightweight, which is great for summertime. They're super cool and a good way to find fellow space nerds near you without having to use those sketchy websites. Shop.nasaspaceflight.com.
What? Wait, are we the sketchy website?
No, we're the good website. We're the good one. So you don't have to go on those, hey, find space nerds near you that pop up in the corner when your pop-up sites.
Let's move on.
It's the flame trench, folks, okay?
Ooh,
all right.
Pink.
I like that one. I'd wear that.
Sometimes I regret the words that come out of my mouth.
Sometimes?
Yeah, most times. You're right.
No, you just got to own it, dude. Just got to own it. Don't be ashamed of who you are.
I missed y'all. This is fun. We have fun here.
I'd rather be playing an X-Wing with a $5 tip at tips.nasaspaceflight.com that I can't put on stream to keep it family friendly, but thank you very much. I'll post it in the I almost said the Jack channel, the back channel, which is now the Jack channel.
Two very different things, my guy.
Steve Cowley, watching Jack talk about health and wellness while drinking Red Bull is like getting advice from D on how to cook bacon.
Accurate. I'm neither healthy nor well.
Oh, man. Rosebud saying, with a $20 tip at tips.nasaspaceflight.com, saying, loving this, my cheeks hurt from smiling. Goodness, mine do too. Oh. Blake P saying, good to see you, Jack. Shasper Toddbot also saying, good to see you, Jack. My offer from X still stands.
I don't
Yeah, you
recall
remember
what
that one
was.
offer?
I'll recheck my DMs.
Remember that one offer that guy did that one time? That was really cool.
That was great.
That's cool.
John Coach is saying, "Holy crap, Jack's back! It's orange." There you go. He's called you "It's Orange Man," so there you go. Jack,
Accurate.
it's Orange Buyer.
When I started here, I had to explain to many employees why it is that I wear orange all the time, and I got the question a lot. And the answer is, I like orange.
Nice.
SLS is
David,
orange. Makes sense.
David saying, "Welcome back, Jack. Missed seeing you on the show." And Steve Calley also coming in saying, "Whoever makes the videos with old footage, great job as an editor. I know how time-consuming it is to look through old footage." Yeah. Shout out to Ryan Caton and Thomas Hayden and all those guys who help with that, plus the team that helps try and sort through all of it, because Jack, you'll be happy to know our file system is still about the way it used to be. Slightly more organized.
Oh, no. Dude, I thought you were going to say you have a functioning digital asset management system, and I was about to go, yay! But
nope.
Can't.
Not yet. Still the old-fashioned
It's a hard
way.
problem. To be fair, it's a legitimately hard problem to solve. In fact, yeah, I'll just leave that there. It's a legitimately hard problem to solve.
Yeah. Also a hard problem to solve. We were talking about it before. I do want to go back to it. I want to go back to Florida Starship, because we got some cool stuff happening. You pointed out that, yeah, behind EJ over there is a boat.
Really?
And it's not other side. Oh, there you go. That works. There it is. That's live, by the way. That's a live video of a boat. And that boat is
How long
also
has that
known
been
as
sitting there?
9th. So about 3 days, 3 or 4 days. But yeah, that is Marmac 31, or as it's better known to the rest of the awesome people, "You'll thank me later." Although I will thank you now, EJ, that you're out of the way, but we can see what there is now. Prior to that,
Do you think it's possible to water ski behind a barge?
Yeah,
I don't
probably.
think it's fast enough. Oh, his answer.
By the way, someone did point out that shortly after the blue oopsie happened, Jerry Pike was getting wet with rain, so technically they static fired in the rain.
Yeah, you should generally not do that.
Yeah.
But yeah.
I don't. Yeah, that's probably a good idea.
But yeah, we saw the. No, it's fine. We don't need to go back on track. This is a Jack show. Anyway, yeah, we saw some of the transport stands and stuff rolling off of "You'll Thank Me Later." Those were the ones that were picked up over at Starbase and brought over here to the Cape. I mean, it seems like they really want to get Cape Starship going. If they're bringing the transport stands, hopefully that means vehicles are next, especially since they're also working on Pad 37, or shall we now say, as Kiko Donchev confirmed, Pad 37A. It's officially named 37A, the one you see on your screen there, and that is the first segment being stacked for the new launch pad over at 37A for Starship, as taken by Julia while out at Cars Park over there.
Reject modernity, embrace tradition. 37 is a 2-pad launch complex. It's good to see the timeline being restored.
And it's funny because if you think of Delta IV Heavy, that was all 37B. And what are we seeing happen now first? 37A. Thank you very much. All is right with the world.
They called it 37B, and then they just never made 37A. All right? That's a single pad launch complex. All right? You know, when they made it, when the Apollo program made it, it was 2 Saturn 1B launch complexes. Built the rocket right on the pad. They had a single mobile service tower that could move between the pads left and right. A fuel farm that fed 2 pads. You know, and then we got rid of that, and then not ULA, would have been McDonnell Douglas built whatever that coping mechanism was on top of all that. All right, and now SpaceX is writing the timeline. It's fine. You know, on pad integration. All right, no movable mobile service tower. I mean, maybe, but fuel farm feeding 2 pads. It's right. Just everything's right with the world.
Yep, there's the official confirmation of it from Kiko Donchev. 37A tower stack is underway. The growth of the Cape skyline continues. Exciting times. Indeed.
I'm excited. Can you tell?
Yeah, I'm also very excited. You look very excited, EJ.
Yeah, thank you. My enthusiasm is palpable.
I can palp it.
Are you picking up my palps as I'm laying them down?
For the love of God, Sawyer, move us along.
I'll take this. I'll take this. I'll take this all the way to the end. I'll take this right off the rails and then off the cliff.
Speaking of things that are moving
hold. There's been a
along-
hold on the joke. Controller, please move your joke books to abort page 1.
Speaking of things that are moving
sir, go
along, the whole reason that you'll thank me later is behind EJ was that we did see transport stands start to roll out the other day. So it arrived, I believe it was the 9th. Let me check my notes on that. And then, so it arrived. And then after that, the next day, we saw stuff rolling out of it. They already have the SPMTs there, so SpaceX didn't really need those. But then we did see it heading down the turn, off of the turn basin, and then past the VAB and on its way to presumably Launch Complex 39. At least that's what it seemed like, right?
Yeah, they moved to 39A. They went a weather minute. They started here, and then went over here, and then went down here, and then went over there.
Then where'd they go?
Then they went over there, and then see this road right here? No,
Yeah.
wait. They went this road, and then they went that away. Because
Where's the beach?
That away.
Which way's the beach?
Nope, other way.
There's a beach over there. You forgot about the Banana River.
Well, yeah, I guess Plyland is also kind of north of there, so that works.
I'm so glad.
Oh, sorry.
I'm so glad you just immediately picked up on it. Thank you.
Hey, you know where the weight room is? I'll check it out.
Yeah, yeah, don't worry about it.
Yeah, but anyway, I mean, this is exciting. We're seeing things starting to happen with Starship at the Cape. And just this morning, we saw an interview that was posted with Gwynne Shotwell on CNBC. And she outlined a potential timeline for Starship going forward, which would be a repeat suborbital flight test for Flight 13. Potentially trying to go for an orbital insertion on Flight 14. And then a launch from Florida of Starship on Flight 15.
Wow.
Wow, that's soon.
We could be 3 launches away. Well, 2 launches away from the next launch being from Florida. There's the transport stand. I mean, why would you start bringing transport stands for vehicles if you then don't plan to next bring vehicles, right?
Yeah,
I mean, it definitely makes sense to bring tooling out to KSC just to sort of do like fit checks. Like, can we move this down the road without hitting a bunch of light posts type thing? Like, that's just like a no-brainer sort of Pathfinder operation, right? So it's definitely like a dotting of T's and crossing of I's type operation, seemingly. But still, if you like, that's I must have missed that interview this morning on my way to work or what have you. But holy cow, Flight 15, that's awesome. Also, if Flight 14 is orbital, I wonder if that means they would go for ship catch or just dispose of the ship in the ocean after orbiting instead of after a suborbital test flight. I cannot wait for ship catch. Like, everything that we're seeing with Starship right now is amazing. It's an amazing vehicle, don't get me wrong, but the whole point of it is to have a reusable upper stage. And so getting to that point is going to be like, oh, buddy, we are cooking with gas now. Oh, look, what a cool shot. We got one passing the other.
Yep, ship and booster.
That's the sound it makes, apparently, when one passes the other.
Yeah, I like that.
I just want someone to dub the Jetsons car noise. You know what I'm talking about over this? I don't know.
I know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, Sawyer, I think you're right. They wouldn't be moving this stuff here unless they weren't getting ready to go. I mean, Jack, you're right. You got to do fit checks, but if the stools are there, what comes? Okay, so you're moving the transport stools. What comes next, right? Like, what's the next fit check? Getting a ship here and getting a booster here, right? And then you got to fit check the pad, right? My only real big thing here is ships, right? You know, they can obviously put super heavy on the pad and static fire it at some point. You know, if the stools are here now, I'd say, I don't know, late summer, maybe September or something, right? Might even be earlier. Who knows? I mean, SpaceX just got a sizable cash infusion. Stuff might go a little bit faster. But ships, to my knowledge, dudes, you're going to still have to test them at Massey's and, you know, do your checks there and then ship them here. There's no place to test ships on the Cape, right? Like, but yeah,
Yet.
I mean, either way.
I presume there's no place to test ships on the Cape yet. But even to your point, EJ, if they end up having to test them at Massey's first, guess what's conveniently on the way to the port? Connector Road, which is what I assume they'll use to get a ship to the port. It's Massey's.
That's a really good point. Yeah.
So, you know, it's not like they have to send it to Massey's and then send it back to the production site. In theory, you can go from Massey's to a barge in the port of Brownsville and then to KSC and then do whatever final work you need to do at KSC. I don't know. I'm completely spitballing here.
Yeah, but here's the thing. Would you want to test something like that after shipping it all the way across from Texas to Florida? It's going to be bumped around in the ocean. Who knows what the sea states are going to be and how the transport's going to go. Wouldn't you then want to test it afterwards just to make sure you didn't jostle anything important loose?
No. Actually, yeah. No, I just wanted to be contrarian. You know what would be really funny, to your point, Sawyer, is if the Star Stool ended up on the barge and making its way over to KSC. I don't know that it would work with the new pad design versus the old sort of donut design of the launch mount, but if some sort of ship static fire adapter was shipped to the Cape from Starbase or just made at the Cape, that would be a pretty, like, I don't want to say minimal effort required because there's nothing in the space business that's minimal effort required, but it would be a somewhat easier, potentially, way to static fire a ship at the Cape is if they made some sort of adapter and just did it at the pad, the same way we saw them do a couple times at Pad 1 Starbase.
Yeah, about that Star Stool, it doesn't exist anymore.
Oh, really? They tore it apart?
I think it's been repurposed a bit, so...
Oh, got it. Also, hey, we got that fourth box again. Kevin, what are you doing, man? What's going on?
I don't know. Almost like you should stick around because we have an extremely, extremely special guest coming up in a little bit.
We do?
Wait, what did you guys not tell me?
Yeah, I don't know about this.
Oh, just you wait. I
have things. I do things.
Yeah. Let's see.
I'm scared.
Oh, you're still on for it? Oh, cool. Yes, this is a Sawyer Flex that I'm talking to you.
This is completely
No, I can't say who you are yet. I'm sorry. You'll get your chance. Don't worry. All right. See you at 7:30-ish? Cool. Sounds good. Beep.
Did you say beep? Did you make your own Quindar tone?
It goes back to our it goes back to the whole thing when we were doing the Artemis streams with the beep and the boop at the end. I had to do one to like end the
Pretty good. Pretty great.
But yeah, anyway.
What if we get to whatever time and in the fourth box it's just a second one of me? It's just like echo, echo. We do like a whole ventriloquist bit. Like I drink some water and then the other me is like, oh, wait, like sings the song. I'll refrain from singing and spare your ears. But anyway, moving right along.
It's Jack.ai. It's just an AI version of you that just sends fun catchphrases, and we gave it a little pull string too. So
pull string, yeah. Basically, so basically, I'm like the Woody doll from Toy Story.
Oh my heart! Just like that.
Transfer tube.
Bagel.
Yeah.
Or no, if you're talking Jack AI, then it would be. That's a great question. I think we can all agree that both coasts have their positives and negatives.
Oh, because you can make it say whatever you want. That is not.
Well,
I don't
no,
approve.
the AI,
I don't.
They try to take the neutral ground, right?
You're right to question me. You're right to push back on the West Coast being the best coast, Sawyer.
Exactly.
The East Coast also has its merits. It's like, do Claude speak?
Someone said AI stands for Astroforge Intelligence. I like that.
Also,
Anyway.
Somebody said this a little bit earlier in the chat. You work for Astroforge. You're talking about Project Hail Mary. Astroforge is almost astrophage. There's something you're not telling us?
Actually, right around the time Project Hail Mary came out, I got an IR modified camera, like a camera that had its IR filter removed, specifically because some of the lasers we have in the lab here are infrared wavelength, and so you can't really see them with the naked eye. But with an IR camera, you can. And turns out, it had that same kind of like bright fuchsia look, because turns out those astrophage shots from Project Hail Mary were filmed, I believe, with IR light sources and an IR modified camera. So we love a fun coincidence or parallel construction or whatever.
You made a Petroboscope.
That I'm looking for that
Got
I can't find. Yeah, we have a Petroboscope here. It's an IR modified ADD. Works great.
Dang.
There were no spoilers in any of that chat. Don't worry.
It's all in the trailers. So,
Yep.
I guess here's the question then. When first Starship launch? From Florida.
I'm going to give you a nominal range. Best case scenario, I'd say fourth week of August. Worst case scenario, fourth week of September. Yeah, it's a little bit of a wide range, but the fact that those dates are actually on the table at all is, that's absurd. All right.
I recall there being a rumor at one point, or some kind of leaked internal thing that was like, hey, maybe they're targeting the end of August to actually have a cutout on the range. I don't know if it was true or not. I saw some people posting about it. It's Facebook, so take that with a grain of salt. But, I mean, that's not out of the question to do.
A boulder-sized grain of salt to any information coming from Facebook.
Yes, with a rock salt. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. But no, you know what comes to mind, my dudes, is remember, however long ago in this, we were talking about potential causes for schedule pressure to get New Glenn back on the pad and returning to flight? A full-stack Starship at the pad certainly would be an additional item that would motivate me as a different rocket company, as SpaceX, to also be flexing in that same time frame.
Wow, I see a lot of people saying Q4 2027 for the first launch from Florida.
Is September
No
not
way.
Q4?
27.
Wait, that's 27? Whoa. I didn't math.
Yeah,
What
no.
the? Really? No way, dude. That plan's finished.
I'm going to say Starship 15, which I guess according to Gwen is the first Cape launch of Starship. I'm going to say before the end of the year, and that's probably optimistic, but I don't think it's way off. I mean, I'm completely guessing here, but plausible. Seems plausible to me as a person who's increasingly disconnected. But yeah, seems plausible.
I'd probably say Q4 of 26, which knowing Burger's Law would mean Q1 of 27 for the actual launch. But we will see. I think it's safe to say that we will see a Starship vehicle on a launch pad in Florida this year.
Wild. Really wild stuff.
It really is. Also wild is the love that you continue to get here, Jack, from all of this and the support. Drunar saying, in honor of Yak's return, can we get a Jack shirt? Full-size collar to waist face.
Nope.
I'd buy that for $1.
Nope.
I mean, I guess
also
it's
RoboCop
like,
reference acknowledged.
To me, all I'm thinking of is we have now the shirt, the Artemis sun shirt, the TPS sun shirt. Now we just need a Jack sun shirt.
No, the Jack Sun shirt is the Texas tank top for tank watchers to whatever fun name we call that. The tank watcher tank top. That's the canonical Jack shirt. You don't get to put my face on merch. I'm not an NSF employee anymore. I refuse.
But you saw we literally put actual photos that team members have taken of Starship TPS and of SLS and made them into shirts. Yeah.
That's where the Texas tank top for tank watchers to tank top it. Like it's that's the whole that was also that was photos of SN8 on that. And so there's a long and storied tradition.
No, as in the
EJ,
entire
don't think too hard about what I just said.
Just look at shop.nasaspaceflight.com. Bideford saying, for my fave and greatest producer, Kevin Michael Reed, hugs KMR. There you go.
Don't encourage him.
No, do encourage him. Kevin's great.
Oh, thank you, Bideford. As my phone goes off in the background.
Oh, maybe it's our special guest calling Kevin because I'm not good enough to take a real phone call and that was a fake phone. I mean, what? That wasn't a fake
You said
phone
beep out loud.
Bro, don't break kayfabe. Never break kayfabe.
Steve Cowley saying Jack AI says Canon cameras are for losers. Steve is all knowing. Nothing? Just the head shake,
nope.
Okay.
Just the shake.
Telstar86 saying if they try to launch a ship from the Cape and there's an issue before launch, would they have to take it all the way back to Starbase to do fixes?
Depends on the issue. Yeah, it really depends. It depends on what happens. If they have to swap an engine out, might be able to do that here. Depends. Is the Gigabay going to be finished? If the Gigabay's finished, no. No, absolutely not.
Just seeing the Battle of the Bays imagery, it does seem like the Cape Gigabay is much further along than the Starbase one. So,
dude,
hopefully
it has cladding
relatively soon.
And if I saw that picture right, it looks like it's got at least the trusses for a roof. It looks like they got the top of it. They're starting to get the top of it on there, which is impressive. Most impressive.
Yeah. I don't know what I was doing there.
I don't.
But I mean, if you look at the Gigabay progress, either from Julia's photo, sometimes we have it on Space Coast Live, our 24/7 live cameras. I mean, hey, what do you know? I was just talking about that. Look at the progress on that. I mean, the cladding is going up almost entirely on one side, and the side that Julia was able to. Oh, sorry, this is the one in Starbase. I mean, it's still
Starbase,
gotten pretty good progress on it. But when you compare it to the one from Julia or any of our live shots that we have over at the Cape, it feels behind. Like it feels like it's missing a bunch of
behind.
Hey, look. That was good.
There you go.
Right in the center.
I still got it.
You missed the opportunity to say bingo right in the center, but anyway. No?
Nope.
Okay.
I'm going to no-sell you on that one, too.
But yeah, there's your comparison. And, I mean, just look how much more of the cladding is on. We've got roof work, it looks like, going on over at the Florida version. So, I mean, the cranes that were on the top are, like, disappearing in there, man.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy. I mean, you get some trusses up, you get a roof on there, you got yourself a building.
Yeah. I mean, I'm sure they would want.
What's wrong with it? Ain't got no roof on it. Sorry, what were you saying?
The Florida one is starting to have a roof on it, though. That's the thing. Look at that.
Yeah, dude, it really is. It looks like about half the roof is on there because you can see a shadow, right? Like that's actually crazy. That building went up very quickly.
It really did. Man. But yeah, that's going to be exciting to see. I don't know how they would fix it, but I'm sure it's SpaceX. They find a way to do crazy things at the pads and jerry-rig everything. So, also, not our Jerry. Sorry, Jerry, please don't leave for SpaceX. We've lost enough people from NSF to either SpaceX or other deep space mining asteroid companies.
Hi.
Oh, you got to be different, huh? All right.
Yeah. Oh, man. So I think we should probably move on to, obviously, the big topic. Wanted to get Starship in there, folks. You always complain, oh, we don't talk about Starship all the time. We save it to the end. There we go. I don't know who I was impersonating there, but there you go. We got some Starship in before the end. You happy?
I feel like you were impersonating EJ, impersonating me as Morty.
Oh, geez, guys, I work on asteroid mining equipment now. Oh, geez, oh God.
Gotta say, new season, not terrible. But anyway, let's get on to the next topic.
That's the difference between you and me, Sawyer. I don't go back for the new season. All right.
All right, let's
Anyway.
go.
Anyway,
Let's talk about
Artemis
the thing that had me sobbing like a baby on my way to work the other day.
I mean, we got you sobbing on your last flame trench. Are we going to get it again today? But
No, I'm saying the Artemis 3
No, I
crew
know.
announcement had me absolutely bawling. It was beautiful.
it was, yes. We have Artemis 3. We have the crew members announced. We have a lot more information announced about the mission. So, of course, we have the amazing astronauts on board. We have Commander Randy Bresnik, who is a shuttle veteran.
Yeah, baby.
Gotta love it. Yeah, gotta love the shuttle love in there. So we have, he was on STS-129, and then was on Expeditions 52 and 53 on board Soyuz MS-05. Pilot from the European Space Agency, from Italy, Luca Parmitano. Feels like I'm calling a World Cup announcements, but anyway,
You need a microphone that like comes down from the ceiling that you can like hold in your hand, and it's like all silvery.
Let's
in
get
this
ready to Artemis. I regret that that's on the
solid
internet.
dedication. Yeah,
Dude,
no,
regret
that was dedication though. Good job.
Guys, look at that YouTube chat. Devin Waldron there, dropping
Wow,
a 50
with
pack.
Whoa!
Thank you. Wow. Beyond amazing. Thank you, Devin Waldron, for that. Appreciate it. Man. But yes, as we were saying, oh my gosh, someone in chat just said 3 humans and 1 pizza. Instead of 3 humans and a Canadian. Like, well, anyway. Yes. Luca Parmitano, who has flown a couple times to space, both on Expedition 36 aboard Soyuz TMA-09M, as well as Expedition 60 and 61 with Soyuz MS-13 vehicle. Then for the mission specialists, we have Frank Rubio, who currently is the American for the longest single spaceflight duration, with about 371 days consecutive in space across Expeditions 67, 68, and 69, launching aboard Soyuz MS-23. And then the newbie, so to speak, rookie flyer, but definitely not a rookie to NASA and especially the Artemis program. As you pointed out, Andre Douglas, who was the Artemis 2 backup crew member for the United States astronauts, was also part of the Artemis 2 closeout crew. And all of them with a bit of military experience. You have Bresnik, who's a Marine aviator, Luca, who was in the Italian Air Force, Frank, who was an Army aviator, and then Andre was with the U.S. Coast Guard. So, quite a talented lineup, if I do say so myself. Which, I mean, what are your thoughts on this crew? I mean, you had Luca, who almost drowned in space. You have Randy, who's a shuttle-era guy, and Andre, who basically was embedded with Artemis 2 for all those years.
Sawyer, this sounds like the who's who of like low Earth orbit expertise. You know, and I think this crew is pretty rightly picked here. Randy Bresnik has done, I think, 6 EVAs, and then Frank Rubio has done 5. Lucas famously had an EVA where water leaked in his helmet, right? And he didn't. I mean, that's, you know, I know what people are gonna say, like, so what? Water leak? Now that can kill you very quickly, and obviously it didn't. He just kind of was just like, hey, I got water in the suit. We should probably go back. You guys go out, if you watch that EVA, it's a little hairy real quick. This is like a who's who of like low Earth orbit expertise and long duration mission expertise. And then you throw Andre Douglas on top of all that. The guy has, I think, 5 degrees. I think it's naval architecture, mechanical, I think electrical, and yeah, I don't even know all of them. That's the guy you want. That's the guy you want if something goes weird. And I will say this, sorry, this mission I know people are going to say like, oh, it's just going to low Earth orbit. Who cares? This is a double docking mission, and a long duration mission on top of that. We heard from the presentation that this is going to be a 2-week mission, and you have two different landers, ideally in not two different orbits technically. Like it's probably going to be similar, right? And you got to dock to one, undock, and go dock to another, dock to that, and on top of that, you're doing a 2-week mission. This is I don't think it can be overstated that this is a complicated mission to do, right? And then it's on top of SLS, which is, it's SLS, right? This is a great crew, dude. This is a great crew. Tons of experience in low Earth orbit, tons of experience with EVAs, tons of experience with long duration missions. Like this is great, dude. I like this crew a lot. These are the right folks for the job. Jack, what do you think?
Yeah, I mean, like I said, when I was listening into the crew announcement on my commute to work, and particularly Andre's comments really struck a chord with me. Thanking his mom and thanking his dad, really, it just hit. It really hit. And then I'm tempted to say, funnily enough, I don't mean to be dismissive. That's the polar opposite of what I mean to be. But specifically, I think it was the ESA director, or the ESA director afterward. His comments in speaking about Luca were, because as space nerds, we all know that story. We know the story of him almost drowning. I mean, imagine you're in a spacesuit, you're on a spacewalk. You can't itch your face if you have so much as like an eyelash on your cheek, and he's getting water filling up his suit, and that's like, but yeah, those two moments kind of stood out to me in the announcement as really meaningful. But just like as a whole, I feel like this whole thing was done really well. I mean, these 4 individuals are representatives of the human race as we step out into the cosmos, and they deserve every bit of excitement and hype that we can lay on them. But you can't get that hype if people don't know who they are and they don't know their backgrounds. So I just thought the whole thing in general was really well done. And I know that I have seen some of the reaction takes on the interwebs in the aftermath of the announcement, which I don't know, maybe we'll get into here momentarily, but I thought it was a very well done event. And in fact, I tweeted later that day, I was like, who did it better this week in keynotes? Was it Apple with WWDC, or was it NASA with the Artemis 3 crew announcement? And in some ways that was meant to be like a jokey tweet and a jokey poll. But in other ways, as both a space nerd and an Apple nerd, I feel like there was I saw parallels. Maybe that's just my own stupid, weird brain, but I saw parallels in how NASA handled this event in terms of treating it as like a very well-produced, a very tight announcement that served its role to get everyone on the same page and hyped up and just sort of lay out the playing field going forward, which is the exact same sort of thing Apple does every year at WWDC, or Google does every year at whatever the Google thing is called that they do. I don't know anything about Android, but yeah, it really struck me. I was like, hey, we got 2 major keynotes in the same week. They're very different, obviously very different subject, very different methodologies. I sort of wish Apple would have the guts to do what NASA did here and go back to the live in-person keynotes rather than just like the recorded videos that they sort of do now. But that's neither here nor there. I don't mean to drag my Apple nerdism into the fray here, but really just appreciated how well the keynote, the Artemis 3 crew announcement was done. I felt like it was extremely well produced, and it's just a sign of the times. It's clear to me that Jared is making positive changes to the agency, and this is an additional one of them, to me anyway.
Can't stop your crying. It's a sign of the times. But yeah. Interesting in chat because Taylor Hose, who's the lead of the closeout crew for Artemis 2, and I believe will also be for Artemis 3, saying that his dad was jumping up and down. It was amazing to see. So Andre's family showing the love there for that. The other thing that I found amazing and heartwarming was the literal passing of the baton. I mean, the fact that it was literally, hey, they've been carrying these around, with them and everything of, hey, look, we're carrying the baton. We're going to pass the baton along to the next crew. And they physically did that on stage. I thought that was absolutely amazing. It was, that's one of those all moments. And you can see how happy the crews were for each other, too.
Yeah, absolutely. 100% agree, Sawyer.
Mm-hmm.
But, I mean, you mentioned it. I feel like we have to address the elephant in the room, or lack of female in the room, I guess, on this crew. I mean,
we've talked about the coming on this show, Sawyer. Come on.
You don't know who our special guest is. Actually, you do, but you don't know who our special guest is.
Touche.
I mean, what are your thoughts on the fact that this is an all-male crew? Obviously, there's been some concerns from many people on social media about this. It was trending a lot, I noticed, on the day when it happened. I've seen a bunch of reels and TikToks and Facebook posts and X posts all about that.
Would I have liked to see... I mean, are we going into this now? Or are we want?
Are we gonna do that? Are we doing the Jack? You go first. You do it. You do it.
I mean, would I have liked to see a mix of genders? Sure. Do I allow that to dampen my excitement? No, but that's me personally. And if someone feels differently, that's okay. I feel like in this day and age, so much of the internet is just a rage factory. And it's very hard to have anything. Like, I could literally hold up a blue piece of paper and be like, it's blue. And the comments would be people like, that's fuchsia, that's cyan, you moron. Like, it's just, it's tough.
Happens to me every day, dude.
Yeah. But you know what? If I'm putting on my, like, optimist hat, I'm, like, trying really hard and putting on the old optimist hat, and maybe I'm reading too much into things, or maybe it's my tinfoil hat, but like certainly seems like a good way to compromise if the Artemis 4 crew ends up being all female. Like that's another thing I saw go by on the internet, and it would certainly be like, hey, Artemis 3 was all dudes, Artemis 4 all women, and they're gonna go to the moon and they're landing. Like that would be badass, if you ask me. Do we know that that's going to happen? No. I'm completely just echoing crap I saw on Twitter, which generally shouldn't do. But yeah, that's sort of where I'm at with this. Obviously, I'm a guy, so that colors my perception. But yeah, I am trying to, where I can, in every aspect of life in 2026, experience joy for what is, and not rage about what isn't or what I think should be. Or like, you got to take your wins where you can get them, man. And look, I fully understand people's frustration. I really don't mean to minimize it. I hear you, like, valid. But yeah, like, can we just have nice things? Can we just like be stoked for a little bit, for like a little bit, just like 5 minutes, be like, yeah, great announcement. Like, and then we can talk. But like, I don't know. That's my long rambling about that.
Yeah. No, I get that. I mean,
I agree too. Go, Sawyer.
Oh no, I was just gonna say. I mean, one of the things that really kind of jumped out to me. Sorry, I got distracted for a moment there. So the fact that hopefully this means that maybe Artemis 4 will have more women on it. Of course, we didn't have that on Artemis 3 in this case. And we had, Christina Cook, who was, again, that crew of 4, they could not have picked a better crew for the return of humans around the moon. That was like peak crew. And I know they will do the same for Artemis 4. And I know it will be peak for this crew as well once they get into space. And we'll have to talk a little bit about their architecture in a bit. But I mean, it's one of those questions that, I'll be honest, I wish I could just ask Jared and say, look, clarify this. Because I know people have been talking about it on socials, and he's tried to, clear things up a bit on socials. That's one of those things where you just gotta ask them and hear it, and be able to challenge back on it. Just saying. If only that was an option.
Dude, I mean, you think he'd come on here?
I mean, it's the 100th episode. You never know.
Come on, man. All right.
A man can dream, okay?
I don't that would be punching above our weight class, I think.
Hey, what did I say about negative self-talk?
I am being realistic. I sound like Ryan now.
You got webbied. You just got webbied.
Yeah, you said you were spending too much time around Sawyer. Turns out you're spending too much time around Webby.
Yeah. We do play Battlefield together. So
nice.
That's fun.
Yeah.
So
anyway.
Guys, I don't think that there's anything here like, oh, they chose all dudes. No. If you really sit here and think about it, guys, these missions are assigned years out. Like Artemis 2, they were assigned 2 years before the mission happened, right? The missions are assigned out. You know why they're so far out for assigning crews before launch is because they got to train for this mission. Now with Artemis 3, you're in a really weird scenario, right? The weird scenario here is that you added an Artemis 3 like 5 months ago. Artemis 3 was supposed to be a lunar landing, right? They moved it to Artemis 4. So logically, that crew, which is most likely men and women, you're not going to move them to Artemis 3, retrain them for a whole new mission. That doesn't make any sense. So now,
honestly, it would be.
What's up?
In a lot of ways, it would be a waste of a lunar trained female astronaut to put them on an Artemis 3 mission, especially when you have clearly 4 extremely qualified astronauts that all have long duration spaceflight experience, spacewalk experience, et cetera, everything we've just talked about. Sorry, I just steamrolled right over you, EJ.
No, that's where I was going with that. This crew was chosen on short notice. It was chosen on short notice. They went with who was available in assignments. Remember, it's not just astronauts going to the space station or going to the moon, et cetera, et cetera. NASA astronauts do all kinds of stuff, from aeronautical research to underwater habitation to Antarctic habitation. It's honestly, this crew was whoever was free, and I'm not sure if that's true. I mean, it'd be nice to ask that guy if we could, right? But he ain't. Anyway, maybe I'll just ping him on X or something. He replies. That's all I'm saying. Like,
he does, and he has replied to people about the topic on that. But one thing that's also, I think, important to note with this mission profile is the fact that you are set to have 2 rendezvous and dockings and other orbital proximity ops. You want pilots for that. You have 3 aviators, and the 4th person, who is not an aviator, trained with the Artemis 2 crew, so knows the Orion spacecraft better than any of the other 3. So, I mean, you want to talk about a good crew. You've got aviators doing aviating stuff in space, and you have someone who is trained with Artemis 2, has done all of the spacecraft training with Orion, worked with the crew to get in Orion, and knows Orion. I think that's a pretty good choice. And I know there was one reply in particular that he replied to on Instagram that sort of cleared this up for people a little bit. And he basically said, look, we have people set aside for the different crew missions. You've got the ISS Crew Dragon missions. You have people that are in the training regime for ISS crew. The majority of the ISS crew missions have had women on them as well. Think of the fact that, there it is, Crew 10, both NASA astronauts on the mission, commander and pilot, were female. And a reminder, NASA only gets to select 2. You have 2 NASA seats, 1 international partner, and 1 Russian seat, which, let's be honest, do you think the Russians would be sending a woman to make an all-woman crew? I'm just going to say that. I don't know. But Crew 11, female commander. Crew 12, female commander. Crew 13, female commander. And the latest astronaut candidate class is majority female, leaving many female astronauts presently training to walk on the moon. And it's worth noting, there is the difference in the ISS training and the lunar training. So,
yeah, dude, that's it. These guys are the guys that were available. They were the guys that were awaiting an assignment. And honestly, this is a really good crew for the job. Randy Bresnik flew on the shuttle right on STS-129, which put ELC pallets on the truss segment. If you speak shuttle and ISS, right, you know what that means. Yep. And dude, he's like you said, a Marine Corps aviator. He has 6,000 hours in 81 different aircraft. 6,000 hours. He's flown every version of the F-18. Like, it's all right.
It's wild.
I'm not sure about the Super Hornet, but yeah.
I almost have that much in Microsoft Flight Simulator. Thank you.
All right, you should command this mission then. There you go.
There you go. No.
Like,
but yeah,
it just speaks to the talent that every astronaut has. Like, this is just the guy. Like, these are just the guys that. Oh, this is just a crew we had lying around. No, this is a really, really talented crew with a very long resume.
Yeah. And Chris Bergen, no, he did not fly on Endeavour, so he didn't fly on the best shuttle. But anyway, I'm impressed that he's addressing people in Instagram and X comments. I'm just going to say that too. That's one of those things where it's like, well, didn't expect that from a NASA administrator. Just go like, yeah, I'm going to reply to people. So,
it's 2026. It's pretty easy to sort of, traditionally put your fingers in your ears and be like la 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 la. But it's an acknowledgement of the media landscape that we live in today, and it's so refreshing. It's like we all want that sort of communication. We all want to know what the decision-making process entails, and that's exactly how you head these things off at the pass, is you just explain. You just tell people your reasoning, and bingo bango. If people are paying attention and reasonable, and you give them the reason why you did things, then that should clear things up. It's when you turtle, right? And you hide and you don't explain what your reasoning is. That's when I think you run into problems.
Am I not turtling up for the Turtle Club?
Stop. All right, Dana Carvey. Or was that Mike Myers? I think it was Dana Carvey.
It was Dana Carvey. Yeah, you're right. But I guess we should probably use that to segue into the updated mission timeline as well. So as we mentioned, there's going to be 2 rendezvous and dockings. So the plan, as we've learned it, is that Blue Moons mark, I guess, 1.5, we'll call it, which will have a pressurized section in it. The crew will be able to enter it. That will launch first. Then Orion will launch, and it will rendezvous and dock with Blue's vehicle. Blue's vehicle can stay in space for 90 days. So it gives them a little bit more leverage. So they will launch, rendezvous, dock, separate away. Then comes Starship. Starship will launch a vehicle. From the sounds of it, it's basically just going to be a Starship that is pulled off the production line with a docking adapter stuck onto it. So it won't be entered, it won't have crew capabilities inside it. It's just going to be regular old Starship with the docking adapter so that crews can practice rendezvousing and docking. So it would be 2 days attached to Blues and about 24 hours attached and doing operations with Starship, which would then see the crew return and splash down after a couple weeks in space doing all of this. So that is what we saw. What we did see is some animations and renderings and plans for what Blue's vehicle is going to look like and what those operations will look like. SpaceX showed us pretty launch video. So we also saw updates on the Artemis 3 hardware with heat shield inspections. Obviously, we know the core stage inside the VAB stacked. We had the America 250 train rolling down the tracks, bringing 8 of those SRB segments to the Cape. So it's getting closer. And we also found out about the Axiom spacesuits being tested as well in Artemis, as well as on the ISS. So that's kind of where we're at with this update, which I know that's a lot. I don't know where you even start with that, but that's kind of where we're at with this. What are your thoughts on this architecture?
Do we think, or do we know, I might have missed it, the docking adapter added to a Starship off the line, do we think that's just going to be like on the side, or is it going to be on the nose, or the like? I don't know. I just haven't really been able to spend time and dig through any of the imagery or renders or stuff that came out. I was kind of like, listening in while doing other stuff to the whole shebang. So if they showed like a render of what that's going to be like on screen, then I missed it.
I don't think they did. I watched it twice, guys. And yeah, that's kind of what I wanted to talk about too. I've seen everybody thinking like, oh, it's not going to be an HLS. They're just going to glue a docking port onto the side of a V3 Starship, but that's what Jessica Jensen, what she said was Starship HLS. This Starship demo will be based off of a V3 Starship. I didn't construe that as like, oh, we're just going to take a V3 with tiles and put a docking port on the side or something. I took it that HLS is based off of the V3 design. Am I like in the wrong here? Because I think the docking port would be on the front, right? Like, because what else would HLS be made out of? V2? But
I don't think you're necessarily wrong. I also don't think you're necessarily right. If only we could just ask Jared.
If only.
or like ask Space. Like, oh.
But I mean, here's the thing: is you have header tanks up there, don't you? I know they plan to change that a little bit for HLS. We do have the old renders that they've had of what the interior will look like. Are you going to dock? I mean, I guess it doesn't matter if you're not entering, but stick a docking port on top.
Oh God, Alex is typing.
Header tanks already in there? I'm just saying.
Yeah. See, dude, I mean, like the way that Jessica Jensen said it, it just sounds like they're going to pull one off the assembly line and they're going to tool it up to be not a full HLS, but like something that has a docking port and maybe a pressurized volume inside, right? Like you don't need any environmental control systems on this thing. And, we are under a time crunch with these landers, right? So you can forego some components. You don't need like Eclipse on board. Orion can tap into it. You could go from there if you really wanted to. SpaceX and Vast, I do believe, are doing something like that. The Haven 1 space station doesn't have any life support systems on it. It uses Dragons, right? Why not do that? You could save some time that way. I didn't really think like it's going to be like one with a thermal protection system, tiles with like a docking port on the side. That's not how I kind of interpreted that. But then again, I don't know. I could be wrong.
No, I mean, I get you. I wish I had a better history brain for Apollo specifically, because surely there were missions before Apollo 11 where they tested things with hardware that could not have landed on the moon. But they did, again, my history brain sucks. Someone in the chat's probably like, what's wrong with you? You don't remember that on Apollo 9 they did a docking in it? Like, I'm sorry, I'm dumb. But no, like...
You can always ask me, what do you want to know?
It doesn't have... Did they do... did Apollo do something akin to what we're talking about with Artemis 3? And I'm not talking about just low Earth orbit ops. I'm talking about specifically, like, did they have a non-functional or a minimally functional LEM that they docked with, but they didn't take around the moon? Or did they take it around the moon, but I know... what was it? Was it 10 where it didn't have all the fuel it would have needed just to make sure that they wouldn't, attempt a landing? Although, is that really true? Yep. Or is that just like urban myth over the years?
That's true. John Young said he would have landed it. He would have ignored NASA and landed it if it had a full fuel load. I mean, he may have been kidding, but...
God, I love John Young. Coolest
guy. He may have
astronaut.
been kidding, but yeah, exactly. He's my favorite. He's the GOAT for me. So, all right. So, Jack, Apollo 8 launched, right? That one went around the moon, similar to Artemis. So Artemis 2 is similar to that. But not a lot of people know, if you're not too keen on like Apollo history, is that 8 launched with no lander because it wasn't ready. Grumman was taking their time with the lander, rightly so. You probably don't want to get that wrong. That might be pertinent to current events somehow. So they didn't launch. They didn't launch. Yeah, no, it's good. Let's just send it. Let's build a pad in 6 months. It'll be fine. Sorry. All right.
Are you
that was a no. It was. I'll say that it was below the belt, and I will keep going. So then Apollo 9. Apollo 9 was basically, for all intents and purposes, a real LEM. It was a real one. And they sent it up into low Earth orbit. They tested rendezvous proximity operations. They tested plucking it off the S-4B, and they also tested the EVA suits. They EVA'd just as a way of like an emergency egress or contingency, EVAing out of the LEM and getting to the CSM in the event that the probe and drogue system didn't work in any way, shape, or form. Apollo 9 was a nutty mission. It was a nutty mission. And then 10 didn't have the fuel, and then 11 landed, right? Like, yes, they did do this.
So 8 was kind of Artemis 2, and 9 is kind of Artemis 3, is what we're saying.
Mm-hmm.
Pretty much.
Yeah, I would say Artemis 2 is a combination of 7 and 8. 7 was on a Saturn 1B, and it was just testing the CSM, the Block 2 CSM, might add. Apollo 1 was supposed to test the Block 1 CSM, and it tested it. Respect. So 7 was the Block 2 CSM. They tested that, it worked, and then 8, they sent it. So, like, Artemis 2 is like a combination of 7 and 8. And a little bit of 9 because of the rendezvous proximity operations demonstration, but we're splitting hairs at this point. So, yeah, it's not unfounded. When Jared actually put Artemis 3 on the books, I thought that was a good idea. I'm just kind of worried about whether the stuff would be ready or not. But, I'm sure that information will come out at some point. Like maybe they will. Maybe they know something we don't. We don't know.
Also, I'm surprised Jack didn't know Rusty Schweikert, who's a big asteroid guy.
Oh, I'm aware. Rusty rules.
Okay.
In fact, the B612 Foundation, which is a really awesome planetary defense organization, has just started giving out a Rusty Schweikert prize. So shout out to them and shout out to Rusty Schweikert, who's an absolute legend.
Yes. But yeah. It's I mean, this really feels like a trimmed down Apollo 9. Again, it feels like Blue kind of got the memo on having an actual interior that crews can go around and test in, but yeah, their vehicle to launch it is kind of in pieces along with their launch pad over at 36. So which is
just such a shame, because we've been getting, I feel like, really meaningful updates from Blue regarding their lander and like imagery of the interior, and it really it's like almost night and day. At least, maybe chat, tell me if I'm wrong. Like maybe I've just been too disconnected lately, but I still feel like, where are these updates from SpaceX on Starship HLS? Like, show us a frickin' landing leg, show us the elevator, show us the crew cabin, show us the bridge, which I assume is what the command area will be called. It better be. If we're not adopting nautical terminology for spaceflight, I don't know what we're doing, but we should. I'm still kind of mad that Space Force people are whatever they are, and they're not Space Marines. Like, but no, for real. I would really love some more detail on Starship HLS, and I hope we get more over time, and hopefully soon. ? But I also worry now, like with the IPO, will they be more reticent to share as much as they have in the past? And at least when it comes to Starship HLS, they've shared very little.
Hey, look, it's a picture of Starship that they shared during the presentation.
Hey, look, it's that thing that happened that one time, 12 times.
Yeah. That's kind of what we're getting from SpaceX, which is crazy to me. That's been their big push. Obviously, they have more flights under their belt than Blue. They've gone for the flight-heavy experience versus the ground support test experience, and then fly as is, as opposed to learn as you fly. But I don't know. We'll see. Let me thank some people here really quickly, and then we'll get back to that.
For a company that's so good at media, it is remarkable, the dearth of information on Starship HLS. Sorry, Sawyer, go ahead.
For the number of NSF people that we've lost to SpaceX, including media people, yeah, you'd think. Captain Q with a tip at tips.nasaspaceflight.com saying, glad to see you're doing great, Jack. Congrats on 100 flame trenches. Let's hope for 100 more. Yes. Drunar with the numbers here. Artemis 3 crew, 889 days in space, almost 10,000 flight hours, 2 bachelors, 2 doctorates, 7 masters, and countless honors and graduates. Those are some wild numbers when you combine the crew like that.
Yeah, that's it's a pretty good crew.
Pretty good. Anyway, Rosebud saying, I can't really afford this, but it's time to let go of questioning male or female, black or white, countries represented. We are a world of humans. Amen. I appreciate that. And then Gog coming in saying, don't bad talk Grumman. They got the lem so right, it saved a crew. I mean,
yeah, Grumman didn't miss. You're right.
Hey, that's the thing. It took them a while to get off the ground, but once they did, yeah, they didn't miss. Almost like, there's companies here that are struggling to get off the ground in time, and it may take them a little longer, but as long as they don't miss, you know?
Yeah, we wouldn't want that.
No, definitely not. You kind of get, you're picking up what we're putting down here.
Yeah.
So, I mean, yeah, I want to see these things fly. And obviously, I know Artemis 3, I almost said Artemis 9. No, that was Apollo 9. Artemis 3. Now you got me all messed up. It's significant. But the whole point of this mission, when outlined, was this is going to be to test the landers. This is going to put them through their paces in low Earth orbit where we can learn things about them before we send them out. Now, they did mention that there is also going to be a uncrewed demonstration landings for these companies as well. So, I mean, there's still
that's kind of been the plan the whole time, right?
Yeah, it has. But at the same time, it was the whole, hey, look, we're going to test this thing in Earth orbit, and this is going to be the proving ground so that way we're ready to go next year. When your stuff isn't ready to go, how can it be proving grounds, especially if what you're setting up is only partial? I mean, again, for SpaceX's, there's going to be no quarters for which a crew is to get in. They can't familiarize themselves with any of the systems, moving around in orbit around it. Handles need to be moved around that could get caught on spacesuits or that make it easier for them to move. It's minor things, but in the end, they add up. Then you get that benefit from testing it in low Earth orbit, which you're not getting this time. I don't know what your thoughts are on that.
Yeah.
Sorry, it just goes back to what I was saying, dude. Like, I don't think that the Artemis 3 HLS that's going to be up there is just some cobbled together V3. I really think that people are misconstruing what Jessica was saying, and I don't speak for her. I don't know. Like, I watched the thing twice. I did not get that vibe. I don't know. Like, maybe I'm wrong.
It's possible you're wrong. It's also possible you're right, and people just are conditioned to want to be mad about things.
Yeah. As I was gonna say, Jack, what were you saying about? You were saying something about that earlier. Like, I don't know. I mean, Jack, feedback on what you're saying, guys. Just quick side note. Remember, you know, there's certain things that you get mad at that you don't have a choice in, right? But a lot of things, particularly in the minutia of the day-to-day, you can choose what pisses you off and what doesn't. Oh, excuse me. You can choose what makes you mad and what makes you what makes you not mad, right? Like, I don't know, man. I was listening to this conversation. It just didn't sound like that to me. Like, it very much sounded like they were, they're pulling a V3 off the line because they're mass producing ships. And I think what was going on there is that they were intending to say that HLSs can just be pulled off the assembly line and you just make a different variant. I don't know. Could be wrong.
I mean, yeah, there's a lot of nuance, and again, a lot of that comes down to where is SpaceX at with their production, where is NASA at with their production, where is Blue at with their production, and getting all of this together and in orbit and setting that timeline. And yeah, that's one of the things that I've always kind of dealt with in real life is it sucks to have to rely on other people to get something done. And I mean, I guess it's a good thing because you can get help from someone, but at the same time, if they fall behind or if they don't live up to their part of the bargain, well, then that affects you personally. And it seems like that's kind of where we're at with this current vibe with the Artemis program. I don't know if it's the same kind of feeling there. I know we'll definitely have to ask someone about that. I feel like, that's one of those kind of big time questions that it's like, I know we can't really answer ourselves, but it would be interesting to hear, the NASA take on things. I don't know. What do you think?
Agreed.
I think, yeah, I agree. Should we?
Should we do that?
Should we do it? Should we ask? We should ask.
I don't know, Chad. What do you think? Should we just ask NASA and be like, "Hey, what are your thoughts on all this?" I mean, that might be helpful.
Call up John NASA right now.
John NASA, yes. Is that like John Fork, but John NASA?
Yeah. Yeah. What's his name? What John NASA? What is?
I don't know who.
Oh yeah. Oh no, his name's no, that's not his name. Dang.
Oh boy. Yeah. So, ladies and gentlemen, hopefully, Jared can hear me. But yes, we have Jared Isaacman, who is the NASA administrator, joining us here on the 100th episode of The Flame Trench for a very special conversation about everything going on with Artemis. Jared, can you hear us?
I hear you loud and clear. And thanks for having me on. I didn't know this is the 100th episode. Congratulations.
Well, thank you. Yeah, it's an honor to have you on the 100th. And I guess the timing worked out great. We've got our crew back together, and we've obviously now have a crew together for Artemis 3 quite appropriately. I mean, we were just talking about the experience that this crew has behind them. I mean, can you kind of just talk about the selection process of this crew with all of their backgrounds?
Sure. Well, I'll tell you, I mean, the actual selection took place by the astronaut office and, Norm Knight. So Maker from the chief astronaut and Norm Knight. And I'm very big on maintaining kind of the history, if you will. You often, I try and make reference to it a lot, is that when we've established a good process or precedent, not mess with it. So I was certainly aware of who they were recommending, and it made sense to me. You think about their backgrounds. Comrade was extremely close to the Artemis 2 mission. He worked very hard, was a champion of the whole rendezvous and proximity operations that was on that mission. Not to mention, he was the representative to the kind of the daily leadership meetings during the crew office representative during the daily leadership meetings of Artemis 2. So extremely close to that, not to mention two-time astronaut, test pilot. And then Andre, the backup to Artemis 2, 3.5 years of deep familiarity with Orion, especially. Frank Rubio, another, record for U.S. astronaut, time in space, great background for this, two-time astronaut. And then you got Luca, who's also extremely skilled, very cool under pressure, as we all know from the EVA incident. So, I think you've assembled a really great crew for what I think is just going to be a spectacular mission. I mean, the bar is rightfully very high after Artemis 2 and that amazing voyage around the moon with 4 outstanding astronauts. So it's going to be a little bit of a different sight picture. It's not going to be the moon, but what we're going to see of Earth and the operations around it. I mean, a spectacular multi-launch campaign from three of the most powerful rockets in the world. You can get cameras and optical comms on everything. So seeing all the vehicles come together, I think it's going to be really exciting. I think we've got the right people for it. Well, I mean, people are certainly entitled to their opinions on the subject, and nothing against people's disappointment. I'm disappointed too in some of those reactions. If we're all entitled to our opinion, because I think some of it's pretty, uninformed. You don't know the whole picture of what astronauts have come back from space, what astronauts are getting ready to go to space. What astronauts have spent years in XEVA suit development. You could be for having a strong insistence on it doesn't matter the background or readiness or experience, put a female on this mission. You could be taking someone away who's already slotted and has been preparing for a long time to walk on the moon. People are entitled to their opinions, but at least based it on some data, NASA only gets to select the NASA astronauts on our mission. So you go back to Crew 10, both female astronauts, pilot and commander. So it's 100% from NASA selection. Crew 11, commander, 50%. Crew 12, commander, 50%. Crew 13, commander, 50% on that. And then 1/3 of the Artemis 2 representation there. So I think it's disappointing because should be a moment to celebrate the passing of the baton from the amazing Artemis 2 crew to the Artemis 3 crew, and knowing again, which I think the astronauts said best at the announcement, the link that Artemis 3 will have to the astronauts that are returned to the surface and all those that are preparing for that mission right now. So I think just celebrate the moment, just like we're going to celebrate the next crew. And there's just enough controversy in the world. We don't need to, I think, needlessly manufacture it at NASA when you really look at the whole picture.
Yeah, and I mean, we had the hype from the Artemis 2 crew with all 4 of them. I mean, it felt like such a tight-knit family that we were watching. I mean, this crew is kind of... how much time have they really had together? Because obviously Artemis 2 crew had years and stuff, and with the recent changes that you made with the ignition event to kind of set Artemis 3 as that low Earth orbit operations test flight, do you think they've had that same kind of time to get that bond to become that family?
Well, it's early, right? I mean, I would say the Artemis 2 crew, I mean, they certainly knew each other really well from just being in the astronaut corps. But yes, they had 3.5 years to become, good friends. And then I think the crew themselves said it best, that they left as good friends and came back as best friends. There's no doubt that's real. Once you're on mission, you get closer than you ever, were before. But they all know each other really well, have a high degree of respect for each other. They're going to work. I mean, this is going to be an intense training period over the next year. But honestly, you ask me, I would take this, every time. I don't think 3.5 years of training and preparation for a mission is correct. I'd much rather see us back in the rhythm of decades past. And now you're starting to see it again with the Artemis 3 crew. This is what should be expected. There's always going to be some fanfare on crew announcements, but I want it to be much more routine. I don't want us to have 3 seasons of a show before a crew gets off the Earth on their way to the moon. I want it to be crew announced, gets right into training, and a year later or less, we're seeing them on their way to their whether it's Earth orbit or to the moon. So this should be more of the rhythm you should expect of us. And I have no doubt they're going to bond together over what will be extremely demanding developmental mission. I mean, they should be spending probably as much time out at the vendor sites looking at hardware and helping drive it to a state of readiness for this mission as they spend in the simulator.
Yeah, and I do want to point out, folks, yeah, sorry about that. Jared was able to hear the question, but we are reading chat, and I know, Jared, you're willing to answer some questions and comments from chat on this, right?
Oh yeah, I don't, and I mean, softballs are always fine, but I never mind the tough questions. I think it's actually rather helpful. So yeah, anything you got?
EJ, I know you've been reading chat on some of this.
Yep. Yeah, I'm watching it like I always do. So yeah, Jared, if I see one, I'm gonna pick it out. No softballs. We'll do it.
Yeah, no issue. I can't see any of them, the chat questions, so I'll defer to you. But
okay,
here and just talking the subject. So,
all right.
rage machine is real, and you seem to be really good at fighting it.
No, well, first of all, I think that NASA, hasn't done itself favors in recent years by not being as open and transparent and always painting things, painting the rosiest picture possible. Like, I don't actually think that inspires confidence. And we had some good discussions very early on things that we chose to be, very quick and public about to the extent we could, like the, Crew 11 early return or the Starliner situation, or just how we're looking at, investments in programs or hardware that isn't, directionally aligned with returning to the moon as quickly as possible. And it's be open and honest. Actually, when you pretend some of these things don't exist, it does not inspire confidence. You think that you're protecting the reputation, the world's greatest space agency, but in fact, it actually erodes a lot of trust. So I'm very big in getting out there and confronting the issues, and at least being, trying to be as reasonable as can when questions arise.
I want to bring something up here because obviously, we had the explosion out at 36 from Blue during that static fire testing, and they had a major role in the lunar program. In fact, just days before, we talked about all of their role in building the moon base on the surface and how they were going to be delivering landers and all of that. How has that impacted timelines? Because originally you had mentioned, late 27 and now summer 27. Do you think that is still viable given what happened to Blue?
Yeah, well, just to be clear, I'm not faulting any of the kind of the journalists that covered it, that interpreted my commentary before, I don't know, one of the 3 budget hearings as a change to the timeline from mid 27 to late 27. I know what I said, and that was easy to interpret that way, but it really just meant like next year, like we're going to address it then. We've always been targeting mid 27 for Artemis 3. I have no doubt SLS and Orion is going to be ready. We are going to start stacking this summer, and I think that'll send a great message to the workforce. Sends a great message to our rivals in this great competition. I have no doubt it will also put some pressure on the lander providers to ensure they kind of meet. That they can meet their timelines. But all that said, that's Artemis 3 aside. Did the Blue situation, the anomaly there, challenge some of the timelines with the moon base? Absolutely. Your near-term milestones for sure. We were going to launch the Mark 1 vehicle, the first one, I think later this summer. But once you start looking a little bit farther out, like the 2 awards we gave for the LTV rovers, that's 2028. So I have no doubt they'll be back on their feet, well before then. And we're doing everything we can to help. This has been also a drum that we've been trying to beat a lot, which is we are not a procurement organization. Like we don't just wait for everyone to deliver us what we want. We can go out and drive outcomes. Now, in some cases, that's a lot harder because we have lost some of our core competencies over the years. And that's for different reasons at different times, from wind down of shuttle and outsourcing and other things. But we're rebuilding those competencies. We have a number of ways to do that so that we can put people into the field and drive outcomes. And right now, there's at least 24 or so subject matter experts helping in terms of Blue, whether it's anomaly investigation, recovery. We'll do everything we can to help them get back on their feet within reason, and we're doing the same thing with the EVA suit development and push that along. We're going to do that. Actually, we're going down to extreme layers, subcontractors making valves that are on critical path to get them going. So that should be the expectation. We'll do all we can with Blue. There's no doubt the year ahead. If they get launching again before the end of the year, fantastic. Then we will have lost very little time. But even a year ahead, there's ways we can work around it, and then we'll get back on track for Artemis 3.
Would you consider then moving Blue Moon Mark 1 to another vehicle, say for example a Falcon Heavy with the extended fairing or something like that?
Yeah, from my perspective, the moon base build out. Look, it has there's value in it aside from just putting landers and rovers on the surface of the moon. Every time we complete a successful landing on the lunar surface, we're learning something that will help us for the actual crewed landing. So there could be rationale. to launch on another provider. I mean, Plan A is help Blue get back on their feet, because we all want the new Glenn capability and their advanced 9x4 as quickly as we can. But there might be some good rationale to look to another provider, whether that is potentially a SpaceX or even maybe a Vulcan with 6 SRBs. I think that'll depend too on kind of the anomaly investigation, but it's not the Plan A. But I do think getting more landings, even for Moonbase, aside from the capabilities we intend to deliver to the surface, is very worthwhile. Certainly, getting comms and observation to the moon too will be very helpful for future HLS landings. When you think about the challenging terrain to land big landers on there, especially for crew. So you still got to keep moving the moon base along, I guess, is the long way of saying it. Even while we're helping Blue get back on their feet.
EJ, I know chat's been really liking this topic. What do you have for us?
Okay, I've been going through all the questions, and Jared, the one that I saw that I think was a little bit of a curveball, if we're going to do that, is in light of what happened with NG4, is EUS even considered coming back? And if not, what are we doing with that hardware? Like, what's ML2 going to do? Are there prospective customers? Are we going to sell it? What's going to happen there?
Oh well, I mean, I don't. Look, if EUS, if one of the, if one of the lander's requirements was to be able to be launched to the moon on a single cargo, Block 1.5, I'd get it, but it's not. It never was. So, like, even if you, wave the magic wand and EUS was operational now, you can't get even the slimmed down crewed lander, to the moon on a single shot. So. So how are you helping yourself in that regard? You're still back to a multi-launch campaign. The only difference is it would be 4 billion plus instead of some number materially less than that. But if you had told me like from the get-go, hey, the reason we have the block Block 1B with EUS is because that's the vehicle that's going to get a lander to the moon. Well, that would make a lot more sense to me, but it wasn't. I mean, it's co-manifesting gateway modules. All that said, Centaur 5 is moving, by the way. We're going to put an update on there. First of all, I will tell you, just the early pass back, from our finance team, like that's going to save over $3 billion over the next 6 years to pivot off of EUS to the Centaur 5. And it's not. I mean, the timeline closes to mid 2028, which I'll let the the people write the reports that are going to write the reports on when EUS would have come out. But it's a material cost savings as a result. So, simply put, once you pivoted from Gateway to a lunar base, what do you need Block 1B for? Like at this point in time, like your only priority is getting astronauts either to the moon or into Earth orbit for a rendezvous, period. Because everything else from there forward, whether cargo or whatnot, you can launch through a commercial provider. So you're not gaining anything. And again, you're not getting a one launch lander to the moon, or else that would make a lot of sense to me. So, and as for ML2, we're still evaluating options on that. Industry has reached out about potential uses. We're looking at potentially modifying it to be the kind of the Block 1 standard, if you will. If we did think we needed to get 2 shots off really, in reasonable close succession in 2028, there's certainly spares you could harvest from it, but we're going to make good use for it. But for those who are like, oh, it was almost ready, it's like couldn't be farther from the truth. Like that had been late 2029 at most. Like didn't have its elevator in it, didn't have any of its plumbing. It was. These are programs that we could have done better on, and there's quite a few of those. But now at least we're freeing up resources and we're focusing people on where it needs to be, and we're going to be able to move faster as a result.
Okay, cool. Thank you for the comprehensive answer. I have a follow up though, if you don't mind.
Sure.
Okay. We want the commercial landers. We don't want a EUS. It doesn't make sense because of the co-manifesting payload, right? So, all right. SpaceX talked about in the Artemis 3 presentation, they talked about using a Starship HLS as basically your Earth departure stage with an Orion attached to the front, doing your translunar injection. Now, does that mean like maybe in the future we figure out some kind of mechanism to put Orion just into Leo, or is SLS the kind of long-term plan with throwing an Orion up there? Or will there be other con-ops with Blue where we don't send Orion into Leo, or we send it on a trajectory like a translunar injection like Artemis 2?
Yeah, I mean, do have to be careful. People, ask like, why don't we have more specifics about, what,
of course,
what the HLS landing strategy is? And it's like, well, that is very much a commercial procurement, right? So this is their trade secrets, but I mean, obviously SpaceX shows that they are going to be an Earth orbit rendezvous for Orion Starship for a lunar landing. Safe to say, Blue, it's going to be a lunar orbit rendezvous. So in that respect, you're still going to need the performance of SLS. Now, I said when we had the ignition event, you're building a moon base so that you can go a lot. I hated the idea of launching a rocket every 3 years. Like, you want to get to at least on an annual cadence, but you want to do better than that. You'd like to be going every 6 months. So whatever that time frame is, I have no idea. Is it Artemis 6, 5, 9? At some point or another, you're going to want to find a more efficient or commercial approach to send your astronauts to the moon and meet up with their landers. And we put out an RFI for that, and industry provided feedback on what a reasonable time frame is for when that's available. It's not, right around the corner. Even in the case of SpaceX, you're going to want to crew rate and certify, that vehicle for ascent and reentry, and you're going to want to get a lot of reps at that before considering it. So I do think you're going to see SLS's launch for some period of time, regardless of whether it's handing off Orion in, a highly elliptical Earth orbit, which still a lot of performance to do that, or you're sending it to the moon, where it can rendezvous with another lander.
And while we're talking about SpaceX and their vehicle, I mean, for Artemis 3, we know that it's not going to be a vehicle that they can enter, per se, as they will for Artemis 4 and for all the future moon-based landings on it. What do you think is the benefit that you get from this of basically, it sounds like just kind of sticking a docking port on the side of Starship off the line. Can you kind of clarify what that is going to look like and the benefits of doing that versus waiting for a lander that would actually be enterable?
Yeah, sure. I mean, I think that the difference between, say, an Apollo 9 scenario versus what we're proposing with Artemis 3 is you still have the full end-to-end uncrewed demonstrations from both landers. So, what are we trying to accomplish here? Well, we do need to get into a rhythm of launching SLS on a more regular cadence. Like, again, your skills atrophy, your workforce moves on to other things, and you wind up relearning lessons, just as we did in the beginning of the Artemis 2 campaign. So that's not acceptable. So we will launch in 2027. If you're going to launch in 2027, expend the vehicle, put crew at risk, you want to get as much as you possibly can out of it to bring down risk for a landing. Now, if you said, well, if the Blue lander wasn't available, would you still do the mission just for a stack controllability check with rendezvous docking and controllability check of the integrated stack? No, because you're not getting enough out of it to take on that risk. But with Blue there, and being able to test out a lot of the subsystems that are important, which frankly Blue does have to prove. I mean, SpaceX, we've gotten a lot of proof points over the years on their ability to manage ECLSS and avionics and rendezvous and docking. So a lot of those systems they know how to do, and we've been helping them on for as they adapted to the HLS environment. So that's, I would say, less important in that environment. Rendezvous and docking, a multi-launch campaign, still very useful. Again, launching SLS and getting in a rhythm, very useful. But you're probably getting more in terms of your test data out of the Blue test lander than you would on SpaceX. But then you're going to follow it up with 2 uncrewed end-to-end demonstrations of both vehicles. I think you combine that with the Artemis 3 objectives. Now you're starting to feel really good about Artemis 4.
Yeah, and of course, a lot of this comes with the idea of a lot of this was going to be tested out at Lunar Gateway and doing everything out there. Obviously, Lunar Gateway is not happening in an orbital sense. I know obviously there's a lot of focus on being able to repurpose parts of it for the lunar base. Where are we at in terms of repurposing parts for both the lunar base, and in addition to that, where are we at in repurposing the parts to get the Skyfall mission off the ground and get that nuclear propulsion test going?
Yeah, well, I love talking on the whole nuclear program.
Yeah.
Yeah, look, I mean, Gateway was maybe a good idea from a different, from a different time. We asked both lunar lander providers for acceleration proposals. Both wanted to ditch NRHO. It comes at a performance penalty. It's not great from an abort perspective, and it adds a lot of costs. It's a distraction, and it's another step or part in the process. So I don't know, like, if we just had Gateway and it didn't have all the the consequence I just described with it, would have make us feel any better about our approach to get back to the moon. I'd trade adding another mission between 2 and the original landing mission of 3 any day, in terms of gaining experience and getting a rhythm as the correct direction. But in terms of lunar base and the nuclear program. And I think in the lunar base, there's absolutely going to be components we are harvesting from Gateway modules that are going to be useful for the base. I couldn't tell you today that, that the Halo module, for example, or IHAB, in terms of whatever stage of fabrication, is going to appear on the surface and be useful in that regard. But there's a lot of very expensive components that were procured in support of a Gateway that we are definitely going to repurpose. But there's going to be just a lot of landers, a lot of rovers. It's great that you've got people have described it to me. I've said it before, like, this is the platinum age of orbital communications networks and comm relay and optical comm. So I think that there'll be no doubt we're going to have great connectivity and optics on the moon base, both surface and in orbit above it. That's going to be pretty wild. So grateful kind of industry is putting a lot of effort into being helpful there. A lot of people want to be the eyes and ears of the moon, which I think is pretty great. But yeah, lots of landers, lots of rovers, power demonstrations. A lot of scientific instruments, tech demonstrations that are going to come down. I'm very big. I love the idea of, using some of these rovers. Instead of us we were originally going to just do like one extreme grand LTV rover, and now we're doing a series of them in a more iterative approach. But actually having some doing surface improvements, start paving out, if you will, a few landing pads. So anyway, I'm pretty excited about where the direction of the moon base is going. The Hopper drones, by the way, are very cool. I can't wait to show a little bit more on that. And then in the nuclear camp, yes, repurposing PPE, and we're slimming it down. We're shaving mass off it as much as we possibly can, and then we're just leveraging some amazing expertise across NASA centers, and as we should, by the way. I mean, this is kind of my point on the. When I talk about NASA constantly recalibrating to do the near impossible, there is not a good thing for the workforce when we're doing what everybody else can do. Especially today, big IPO day. Great. I'm thrilled for, by the way, everyone at SpaceX, workforce there. You don't want to be competing with industry that has a lot of options available to incentivize and reward their workforce. You need to give, at NASA, we need to give our people the work that no one else is capable of doing, where there's no obvious business or use case, and then you're there for the work and you stay for the work. And that's why nuclear power and propulsion has got to go from the $100 million a year funded to go nowhere for decades into, at some point, a multi-billion-dollar program. Big, and just keep pushing the limits on materials for high temperature materials, power conversion. And really build your fleet of nuclear powered, probably chemically augmented nuclear power spaceships to pull off a real mission to Mars and back with the fewest miracles required. Not to mention outer solar system and such. So anyway, the point is that I love that we're working on this. It's absolutely the 70% solution. PPE is great. If you're doing it from the ground up, you'd probably try and optimize for mass a little bit more. But all of our centers are contributing to this, for space structures, an extendable boom, radiators, plus industries contributing as well, designing a reactor. But we're really cobbling this thing together to be that 70% solution, that Nautilus that kind of gives birth to a nuclear future in space. And it's all progressing, I think, really well.
Yeah, I mean, you said nuclear is your favorite topic, so I might as well ask you another question about it while we have you. I mean, obviously, this is going to be a huge mission for a proof of concept of things going forward. How do you see the plans to either miniaturize it or build upon the scale that you have for this particular Freedom mission to be able to then use it for future Mars missions and these other, interplanetary spacecraft?
Yeah, so I think look, I think a large portion of my job, my responsibility is to get all of the interested parties, all of the stakeholders aligned on what's in the best interest for NASA and our space program for the long term. There's obviously a lot of short-term things we have to get people aligned on, like when you're pivoting off of EUS or Gateway Moon Base, and I think we've been extremely effective at that. But we're having the same conversations about nuclear, because what I don't want is everyone to wait around for that mission and then say what comes next, right? Like we gotta make progress on this and already be thinking about what SR2, SR3, SR4 looks like. And we are having those conversations now, and we're getting a lot of our stakeholders, political leadership aligned that this is the right long-term future for NASA, for powering our moon base, for again pulling off crewed missions, maybe to Mars again with the fewest miracles required for power on the surface of Mars, and then just exploring the outer solar systems where you just can't rely on solar to be that effective. And it's going well. So I would expect at some point you're going to have multiple reactors in design. You're going to have your next generation power, conversion units, and we'll just keep layering on additional missions. And you'll try and if we started a 70% solution, I hope we get closer to, SR2 is maybe an 80% solution. I challenged the science mission director, and I mean our budget called approximately, in FY26 appropriations, $7 billion a year. And I know people hate to hear it because it's always the binary thing of like, it's all or nothing, but it's really not. There's lots of ways to unlock efficiencies and when we don't spend as well, and say, see where we can unlock additional dollars to fund a high priority decadal science mission to the outer solar system and leverage nuclear power. And let's start building SR2. And people responding well to that. I think there's going to be a lot of follow-ons. You're not going to have to wait for SR1 to post a W to know that there's another one following shortly thereafter.
Yeah, and I know you were at Langley today, actually, where they've been doing a lot of work on all those different systems, and we were just looking at some of those photos. It's amazing to see all the different NASA centers coming together for all these different things.
Yeah. Oh, it's absolutely. I mean, again, I was talking to people today that, submitted the designs for an extendable boom and the, radiator designs for SR1 Freedom, and those that are working on, AI programs to help with some X-plane initiatives we were working on in aeronautics. That's pretty exciting. So yes, every center you go to, you just meet a lot of fantastic people that are working really hard to change the world in air and space.
Yeah, I mean, now we have the X-59 and all of that. And you mentioned aeronautics. Jack, go for it.
You said a thing about a plane. I have to ask about the Maverick Act. I never in a million years thought we would actually get to see something like that happen. It was always like a fanciful daydream, like, oh, what if we got a flying F-14 again? And now the Maverick Act exists. I hate to do that thing that people always do with like musicians and whatnot. And it's like, oh, awesome, what's next? But like, just because we live in this insane world in this best of all timelines, could we possibly maybe see an SR-71 flying again someday? I'll just be happy with an F-14, but I just had to throw that out there because I'm wish casting now.
Well, one step at a time. But I would say that like the first things first, we gotta just start doing more within our aeronautics portfolio. X-plane flew once, was in heavy maintenance just a handful of months ago. Now it's getting into a rhythm. Went through the number last week. I think hit 1.4 today. I'm still looking through, catching up on some of my emails. But so great. Now we're in a rhythm. We got to rebuild flight tests. I'll tell you, we're definitely hiring in aeronautics to start bringing back in more flight test engineers, so we can not outsource that anymore, because that's going to be the key to managing multiple X-planes. But I assure you, there will be more X-planes. There is. This is. I think, to me, like, I love the rocket business, right? And I don't think there's anything more inspirational. Like, you wouldn't have gotten anywhere near as many people tuning in, put it this way, if Artemis 2 was didn't have those 4 amazing human beings in it. But in between all of that, you get some pretty radical looking X-planes out there flying around. That's another great way to get people inspired about this line of work. So fully expect more to come here.
Yeah. Thank you, by the way, Jared, for letting us, answer some chat questions and taking some of the hard hitting ones. I know, appreciate your openness and honesty with all of it. And we love having you at NASA and getting to hear all the exciting things now actually happening. So thank you, Jared.
Yep. Yeah, thank absolutely. You. Anytime, guys. So.
Anytime. We will take you up on that. Be careful.
I mean, careful. Yeah, careful.
It's the only interview I go on where I'm not wearing a suit, so I welcome it.
Oh, we got you. Yeah, see? I got a t-shirt on too. We're good, man.
Dang, and I put the collared shirt on. Like, I got to look. No, next time I'm wearing the merch. There you go.
I'm wearing pajamas.
Nice. Very nice. Like it. Well, good.
Awesome.
Well, hey, always great chatting with you guys. Congratulations again on the 100th episode.
Thank you so much. NASA Administrator Jared Isaacman, folks.
Take care, guys. See you. Bye.
See you, buddy.
So that just happened.
That was pretty cool.
Yeah, we were about that fourth box. There you go. That's who it was. That's Administrator Jared Isaacman. And there were certain things we wanted to talk about again. Like, we wanted to address the Artemis crew selection and all of that. And of course, once I found out his favorite topic was nuclear, I mean, come on, that was awesome. But I think we got some really good answers. And that's why we kept hinting, if only we could ask Jared about that, or ask NASA what that means. I think we got some good answers there.
You don't think we laid it on too thick?
Oh, okay. Sorry, trying to compose myself. We had a lot of support that obviously came through during that. So let me just thank some people here really quickly. Jacob Durkin saying, Jack, so glad to see you back. Hope everything's going well. EJ Sawyer, always appreciate the streams. Big love to you all. Phil asking, Jack, do you miss being down at Starbase and photographing everything and working with NSF? I don't know how you dealt with it in the change. How you dealt with the change.
Oh, man. Who cares? We just had Jared on. I think now is neither the time nor the place for that discussion. I'm inconsequential compared to everything that we just talked about. Suffice to say, there's things about it I miss. There's things about it I don't. And I'm just happy that we live in 2026 when there's so much interesting stuff going on in spaceflight. It fills my heart with joy.
Absolutely. Jeff saying, Jack said it. Some people like to just be negative. They must not be listened to. Yes. And then came the reactions to Jared. No way. Jared, the man restoring NASA. NSF always has great content. Space Pope with the $50 super chat saying, space blessings to you, Jared, and the brave members of NASA. Space be with you. John saying, OMG, awesome job, Jared, sir. Telstar, getting Jared on the Flame Trench is a flex for sure. Well done, NSF, for having a high-profile guest. Jack is a close second.
And I'm not getting me on isn't a flex? What am I, chopped liver?
Read the parentheses. He said that he did the me.
What am I, chopped liver?
Jeff saying space is hard, and having you, Jared, at the helm is a welcome sight. For the $25 super chat, thank you, Jeff Rishoff. Hot Pace, Jared, would you rather fight 100 duck-sized horses or one horse-sized duck? Cheers from Indianapolis. Yeah, I hope you don't mind when we were picking some chat questions. We kind of didn't take that one.
I was trying to pick humdinger questions, dude. Like I was trying to. Yeah, I mean, you said he wanted curveballs.
He told us that beforehand.
Part of me was like, do we have enough curveballs? Like, he seemed to really want to answer hard questions. I hope we satisfied with hard questions, and whenever you guys get him back on. I rest assured, I'm sure you'll have some barn burners for him.
Yeah, and you were able to hear all of his answers, most important. Telstar saying thank you, Jared, for taking the time to answer questions. I'm sure he's a very busy man, and this shows how down-to-earth, no pun, approach to running NASA and being transparent, an honor for sure. Eric Fraser, now that I'm back at my computer, happy 100th Flame Trench, everyone. Jack, so great to have you back, if only temporary. And what a score to have Jared join as well. Kudos to the NSF family. Brett with $10 Super Chat for an amazing 100th Flame Trench with Jared and Jack. Thanks, NSF. And that diabetic kid saying, please come back soon, Jack and Jared. Jack, thank you so much for coming back on for the 100th Flame Trench.
Yeah, I mean, I couldn't not. And look, I'm not going to promise that I'll be back in any interval or anytime soon or anytime far. But, you know, when I can be back, I will be, because I do love y'all, and I do love spreading the good word of low-cost missions to deep space, which is exactly what we're working on here at Astroforge. Oh, yeah, and asteroid mining. I would be remiss if I did not say, please follow Astroforge on your social media of choice. Follow our CEO, Matt, who posts all kinds of crazy deep dive technical details and occasionally some of my photos instead of his cell phone photos. He's a great follow on Twitter as well. We have the Astroforge podcast, which is, again, insanely technically detailed. As head of media here, I've been championing sort of a radical transparency vibe to all of the things that we put out. And if you can see us do that, well, hey, I'm glad you see it. And I truly believe that the best way to get people hyped up about what you're doing is tell them about it. And that's exactly what we're doing here at Astroforge. And yeah, I don't even know where else to go from there. But I love all of you. It's a pleasure to hang out with the crew again. And you better believe I missed this.
Well, we're so glad to have you back and get back into the swing of things. I'll come out and join you in California, and we'll have some fun. How about that?
Deal.
EJ, hey, thank you for joining as well. I mean,
can I? No.
Yeah, you can. You totally can.
All right, cool. Thanks.
We'll hit Sidewinder. It'll be awesome. Maybe we'll get to catch some NASA aircraft on Sidewinder someday. Crap! I should have asked Jared about that.
Oh, my hat.
My Cliff.
My question.
Oh, jeez. Yeah, no, that was. This is fun, Jack. It's always a pleasure having you here. And yeah, it's a privilege being on here, and I try not to take that too lightly. I mean, we have fun, but we try to lay the hammer down. But yeah, I mean, you should come follow me over on Twitch. We have the EJ podcast Monday through Friday. I'm trying to sound like Jack. I'm sorry. I stream over.
There have been a handful of times where I have jumped on your Twitch channel for like 30 minutes during lunch or whatever. So if you can't get enough Jack, maybe every now and then check out what EJ is doing if you don't already, because there's a non-zero chance you'll hear my voice on EJ's Twitch. Just saying.
There you go.
Oh, jeez.
We did have a good conversation about your new ride a little while back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Also, at some point I gotta see what you did to my sweet city, Skyline City, Los Rico, dude. What did you do? All right, we gotta wrap it up. Wrap it up.
Anyway, yeah, I stream over on Twitch. It's double stream to YouTube. You can catch me over there. Twitch.tv/EJ EJ_SA, or on YouTube it's EJSA1. But yeah, thank you, chat. Thank you everybody for watching. It's a privilege being here, and yeah, it's fun. We'll do more.
And we could not do these 100 episodes without the
Jared
support
said he was gonna
from all of our members and everyone over there that you see on your screen, the launch directors and flight engineers especially, in addition to the rest
you're muted.
of all of,
or at least
in addition to the rest of. I'm not. They can't hear me because I disconnected from the other call that we were in. They can hear. Don't worry. They can hear me. Launch directors, flight engineers, thank you very much for all of that extra support. We appreciate it. Even that one guy named Jack Byer on there. I guess we appreciate him too. Thank you as well to Kevin Michael Reed and Jay Keegan in the background, pushing the buttons, pulling the levers. I am Sawyer Rosenstein. I have been your host, taking over from Jack Byer and now continuing to pass the torch as it was from Jack to me. I carry that torch with pride. Thank you, everyone, for 100 Flame Trenches. We'll see you next time for Flame Trench 101, and of course later for This Week in Spaceflight.
And here we go.
There's the W. Here's ignition.
Doubling up.
Did it just do a Kerbal?
Back to the moon and beyond.
Put that in the big bag, you know.
Back at home, we all have a lot of work to do, but from here, Earth sure looks like a perfect world.
Propulsion continues to be normal.
We did have an observation.
343 unfolds to go.
It's orange.
Water towers can fly!
Bingo! Right in the center.
Where's Jacqueline? There it is!
That was surreal.
That's not what we want to see.
No!
Oh my God.
Yikes. You bet. We don't need any more of these.